Hey, what's up, folks? This is Chris Kern, and you're listening to Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
For those who don't know, now you know, baby. This is Hot Rod Biggs, Jared, Jimmy Street. We're going to take them to the limit one more time, baby, right here on Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one more time to the Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling podcast, and it is me, your host, Jimmy Street, as always. Happy to be here today. Hope you all are having an awesome day. Got a cool show coming up. I'm going to be very brief on my opening here because I kind of have a big announcement to talk about. Today, we are obviously bringing you This Month in Wrestling History with Quinton Quarisma, episode 11, and of course, he's covering May. And I know Quinton's got a lot planned for us, so y'all buckle up and be ready for that. Just hang on tight. We'll be right there with it. But before we do, we have a couple things to cover. The first thing, of course, was last episode, and guys, we're hearing a lot of cool response about this, so hopefully you all enjoyed it. I think we're going to kind of try to continue to do some more of these in the future, being that they were very fun, and it was just a lot of fun. It was a fun project to put together for me, and anybody who listened, checked it out, thank you all so much. I greatly appreciate it. We watched Learning the Ropes, the Lyle Alzado starring sitcom that had all the great stars of the Jim Crockett NWA. Of course, we saw Ivan Koloff, Ricky Morton, and gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. Y'all go check that out. Like I said, it's available on video. If you just want to listen to it, it's on our Apple, but it is available on our YouTube and Spotify in video format. So y'all check that out. All right, guys, next up, I always hate to give the haters a reason to gloat, but it appears that the Austin Idol Power Hour experiment has reached its premature conclusion. Idol has unfortunately decided to end the show. No need to really get into specific reasons. It really wouldn't matter anyway, but it's okay. I will say he did always tell me how much he enjoyed my production work, so I don't think it's that. I want to kind of say some thank yous here. So thank you first off to Captain's Corner Nick for putting us in touch with each other. I do want to say thanks for that. Nick's been a believer in my stuff from the start, and I as well in his stuff, so it was really appreciated that he thought of me for this, and heck, man, I gave it a try, bro. I do want to say thanks to Idol for thinking that I could do it. I have nothing bad to say about Idol. I have nothing bad to say about the entire experience. I thought it was fun. It was interesting and even an exciting experience. Honestly, it's exactly what you would think working with Austin Idol would be like. Just think about what it would be like, and that's it. I guarantee that's what you're thinking. In the long run, though, nothing bad to say at all. He's all class, and everything is truly a learning experience. Mostly, though, I'm just bummed because we literally just got started, and I don't start anything without the hope that you'll get to see it through to completion. I just don't like to do things. I don't like to start things that I can't finish. So not sure where things would have ended up, but you never know unless you swing the bat. I do give that advice to anybody out there. If you believe in something and you want to try it out, swing that bat, bro. See how it works. Never know. I do also want to say thank you to the new listeners who came on board specifically for that show. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to keep it going longer. I'm now realizing my final statement about the show is almost as long as the entire show's run. However, just keep in mind, the pedal is still fully, truly to the metal over here at Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling, so have no fear. New things and ideas are always on the horizon. Stay tuned, keep your eyes peeled, and don't miss out. And thank you, Austin Idol. I appreciate the opportunity to work with you, sir. All right, guys, that's all I have for the open. I don't think anything more would be necessary today. Let's go ahead and get with our buddy, the main man himself, Quinton Quarisma. So we'll be right back with episode 11 of This Month in Wrestling History with Quinton Quarisma after these messages.
Hey, my name is Tammy Reynolds. I am the wife of Forsaken Rick Reynolds, that super cool guy that everybody knows and loves. And I represent West Side Sauces. I make sauces, I bottle them, I seal them, I sell them. I have a hot honey sauce, I have a sweet sauce, I have a hot sauce, I have a white sauce that's so yummy you can use it on everything. They are absolutely amazing and I'm so proud of them. We make them from scratch. So go on our website, westsidesauces.com, check out our products, read about our story, and go online and order you some of these yummy sauces. And Rick actually uses all of the sauces because he is a die-hard smoker and griller, and so he likes really good sauces and rubs, and I make them, so how convenient is that for him? Go on our website, westsidesauces.com, order you some samples, and I think you'll thoroughly enjoy them. Thank you, guys. Be blessed.
Welcome to This Month in Wrestling History with Quinton Quarisma.
All right, guys. So we're in the month of May, and month of May was really had a bunch of stuff going on that I could find, and I'm sure it had tons of stuff I couldn't. So, so the first one we're going to go with, we're going to go to May 1st, 1981. We're going to go to Gainesville, Georgia. And this is actually kind of bleed over from last month. Actually, I think we got a couple bleed overs. So this one is, like I said, Gainesville, Georgia. Harley Race defeat Tommy Rich for the NWA World title. This ended Tommy Rich's, was it 4-day run he had with it? I think it was 4 days.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, we talked about last month about him winning it. And like we talked about 4 days. They could have gave him a lot longer than that. We don't know
100%. Why. Yes. Yeah.
So, and like I said, we talked about how people give Tommy grief for 4 days. I'm sorry. He was the hottest thing on TV for 3 years on that TBS, and
yeah, 4 days longer than most everybody else, right?
Well, yeah, about 90%, 95% of the wrestling business held the NWA belt. So,
exactly.
It's one of those things. Okay. Go back to last month's list too if you want to hear more about us talking about Tommy Rich and being the champion. So, all right. So now we're going to go to one of my favorite places. May 21st, 1985. We're going to Portland, Oregon. The Portland Memorial Coliseum. Pacific Northwest, Owens family's 60th anniversary in the wrestling extravaganza. That was a mouthful.
Yeah.
So this was their anniversary of the Owens family. Don Owen, his brother, and his I think it was his dad before that actually started. And then I read a little bit where Paul and Eldon, helped with the promote. I think I don't know what town they had. I think they just one of the towns in the territory at the time, or maybe run two towns. I can't remember the guy. I should write down the two guys that owned it before that. But they worked, the whole thing, in the territory, a lot of the people, they worked in the office and they had their own town.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that thing. So I think Don took over in I want to say 54, 56-ish, maybe, something like that. Right in there somewhere. So they did this big show, and they had it, like I said, at the Portland Memorial Coliseum. I couldn't find attendance. They had 10 matches. I'm going to run through fast. Cowboy Lang beat Little Tokyo. Mega Maharishi beat Billy Two Eagles. Mega Maharishi was Colonel De Beers, Ed Kwiatkowski. He did this. There's a good documentary out there somewhere of in the early to mid 80s. There was a cult out there in the Pacific Northwest. It was big time. Mm-hmm. And it was like a spinoff of that. And so it was, I wish I remember the name of the. I saw it years ago. The thing. But yeah, he he went. I mean, he'd been there forever. As Ed Wiskowski, Easy Ed. So it was crazy that he did this. But and then Billy Two Eagles was Jesse Ortega, a journeyman. He actually worked for Memphis for like a cup of coffee. All right, so then we'll go to Carl Steiner beat Steve Simpson. Carl Steiner was from Canada. He was actually a fabulous kangaroo with Don Kent. He was Johnny Heffernan in 82 and 83. I didn't know that.
Okay.
Steve Simpson was, for the world-class fame.
Yeah.
Then we go to Bobby Jaggers and Ricky Vaughn, which was Lance Von Erich.
Yeah.
It beat Timmy Flowers and Chris Colt. Timmy Flowers was a Vancouver mainstay in the Indies up there and did the Vancouver office up there forever. And Chris Colt, we've always talked about his crazy life and everything.
Yeah,
definitely.
And here's where it gets good. And this shows how much everybody thought of Don Owen and how much they respect him. The next match was Sergeant Slaughter beat Kendo Nagasaki. So Slaughter came in. Nagasaki came in. I think he might have been in Florida at the time. I think this was, was Slaughter at AWA in 85? I think so. I think he just left New York and went to work. All right, then the next one, we got Roddy Piper beat Buddy Rose. And Piper at 85, I mean, he's just killing it for Vince Jr.
Not as anybody.
Yeah, in 85, and Vince Jr. let him go to go work for Don Owen.
Right.
That shows how much some respect, and that's, that's crazy. Then we have Kurt Hennig and Larry Hennig beat the Road Warriors by DQ.
Okay.
85 Warriors were one of the AWA tag team champions in 85. So
I do believe, yeah.
Yeah, so Vern let his tag champions go. Next match was an AWA World Title match. Rick Martel beat Mike Miller.
Oh, Mike Miller? Nice.
Yeah, Mean Mike Miller. Yeah, he's been on the your network of podcasts before.
Oh yeah, great interview.
Go check out the episode.
On L'Avenue Color with Wolfie.
Yeah, go check it out. It was a pretty good episode. I remembered he still remembered a lot from his time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you helped me out with some of those questions too.
All right, so we'll go to the main event. NWA World Title match. Billy Jack Haynes wrestled Ric Flair to a time limit draw. So you had the AWA World and Tag, NWA champion, WWF's hottest heel in the business, all on this card for Don Owen.
That's amazing. That's a great card.
It's a crazy great card.
Yeah. And then there's a shoot interview Bobby Jaggers did before he passed, where he just buried everybody. I mean, everybody. Buried Piper. And he said, yeah, Piper drew Don Owen his biggest house and no-showed. And Piper did not no-show. Bobby Jaggers, man, that shooting, he buried everybody, man. I was just like, dude, come on.
Yeah. I got to check that out.
Yeah. He's talking about, the Piper no-showed, and no, Piper was there. It's bits and pieces. The whole show ain't on YouTube, but you can find there's one that you got the majority of it, and Piper comes to the ring.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
We'll look for that. All right. So next we're going to go back in time a little bit. We're going to go to May 26, 1956. Going to San Bernardino, California. Oh, Lord. El Toro Cabrera beat Juan Hernandez. And the only reason I put this on there because I loved what this was for. This is for the San Bernardino Valley Trophy. And Cabral was the first champion. I know people are like, why are you talking about this?
Is that the one Daniel LaRusso won in Karate Kid?
It could have been. It might have been the same trophy. Cabral worked for 10 years out on the West Coast with journeyman kind of deal at the time. Hernandez worked 20 years journeyman, and he worked as Black Monster number 2 for Gulas and Gulf Coast.
Okay, Black Monster number
Black
2.
Monster number 1. He was number 2, so there was a number 1.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to go. This is going to be up y'all boys' alley right here. We're going to May 22nd, 1992. Going to go to Knoxville, Tennessee, the Knoxville Civic Coliseum for the Volunteer Slam.
Hey.
Smoky Mountain, baby.
Oh, yeah.
All right. This was their big, they did those big shows. They'd give them gimmick names and everything.
I loved it.
Yeah, Volunteer Slam. Because, there was a big, I don't know if y'all know, Jimmy probably remembers this because I've heard about it. They had this big thing called Volunteer Jam in Nashville.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we grew up with that. Dad loves Charlie Daniels. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So he had that big thing. He had that for 20 probably years. He did that once every summer. So I think this is a spin-off, Volunteer Jam, Volunteer Slam. So
yeah.
The attendance was 1,000. Maureen's wife did this because they had the tournament for the crown, the first Smoky Mountain heavyweight champion.
Okay.
I wrote all the matches down, but I'm not going to go through them. Just the finals match for the finals was Brian Lee beat Paul Orndorff, become the first Smoky Mountain heavyweight champion.
Oh man, love it.
And they had that whole tournament. They did have 2 other matches. Hector Guerrero and Joey Maggs beat Barry Horowitz and Rip Rogers, and then a Smoky Mountain tag title match. The Heavenly Bodies beat Johnny and Davey Rich.
Nice. Party boys.
And if you haven't heard the Johnny Rich interview from a few
haven't
weeks
had it
ago,
yet.
I mean, not Johnny, I'm sorry. Davey, I'm sorry. Yeah, a little too fast forward there. Okay, I'm sorry. Davey Rich
Soon
interview,
enough.
it's really, really good. Go check that out if you haven't already. It was really good. Talk about, that's one of those, Jimmy just turned the mic on and he let him go.
That's all you need to do on Davey.
He was good. So.
Thanks. That was. I wish I could take credit for that.
All right, so now this is going to be a little bleed over from last month. May 6, 1970, we're going to Nashville, Tennessee State Fairgrounds. Nick Gulas runs his first show at the Women's Building.
Oh.
Yeah, remember we talked about actually the last couple months. The Coliseum burnt down. They went and ran the next week in the agriculture building. It was too small. The roof, the bassoon was too low. So they went out to Father Ryan High School. Ran out there. We don't know what happened there. We kind of guessed that Catholic school and wrestlers don't mix. So I think that's what happened to that. And I don't know why they didn't move the women's building to begin with.
Yeah.
Because it was big. Well, it really wasn't made for wrestling, but they made do. I don't know. The old women's building was big. It was the biggest building on the fairground property at the time. It was low ceiling, but right in the middle, the roof went up like 20, 25 foot. It's just a square right in the center of the building. It was weird looking. So they brought bleachers in all 4 sides, and they went up so they could actually put. I think they could have got. I think I saw things legit. They could cram 1,000 in there legit.
Okay. Well,
so it was about the same as when they moved over to the exhibition hall a few years later. So it's about the same crowd attendance. But like I said, this one you get all 4 sides of bleachers. But anyway, so this is like I said. So he runs his first show, and I remember on the advertisement, air conditioning. That's a big thing. Because the Coliseum wasn't air conditioned.
Yeah.
So this was air conditioned. So that was one of the key points. The first match was Big John versus Tony Russo. Big John, if you haven't ever seen him, go on YouTube. There's a match against him and Andre from, I want to say, 74, 75 or maybe right in there sometime. Dude, it was really good. Big John, for a big dude, he could work. And that was where Andre really could go. It's out there. I think it might have been from Chattanooga. It's a really good match. It's on YouTube.
Okay.
So I highly recommend go find it. Go find it. Yeah, Tony Russo worked for 15 years. I mean, he was definitely a journeyman. Worked Gulas a lot, and he was he was a mighty Yankee with all the 900 other people. It was a mighty Yankee, and he also worked as the Golden Hawk, which I'm sure some kind of mask gimmick with a golden mask. I'm sure.
It sounds like a good idea.
And then this next match was shot because I don't think I've ever seen this guy work for Gulas. He might have, but I mean, I don't remember it or seen it. Ernie Ladd worked Corsica Joe. So Ernie Ladd, you know, I just don't remember him working for Gulas, you know?
Yeah.
And and Corsica Joe, everybody in the Middle Tennessee area knows old Corsica Joe. Great guy. He was such a nice guy.
Never got to meet him, unfortunately, but I've heard awesome things. No.
Oh, man. Yeah. He was definitely a great guy.
And his wife, right? They both kind of worked for
Sarah Lee. Yep, they were both workers, and then they went on and worked the sports arena office for Jerry's office. Worked the Sarah Lee did one door entrance, and then of course Joe did the second the door. The box they come in the box office. They worked there for years. Then they went out when Bert took over the sports arena. They worked for Bert. So yeah, they might as well say if you know Nashville wrestling, you know who Corsica is.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right. So then next match is Al Green and Pretty Boy Martinez versus Lynn Rossi and Bearcat Brown. We talked about Lynn Rossi and Bearcat Brown being just over like Rover in the South. Al Green. He's one of the famous Green brothers, Alan Don Green, he's one part of the original Haley Bodies. Pretty Boy Martinez was Frank Martinez. 15 years, did a bunch of mask gimmicks. But in this area, he's known as being one of the Blue Infernos with Gypsy Joe in the late 60s. Yeah, they were big time in Gulas in the late 60s as the Blue Infernos.
Love those gimmicks.
The only reason I'm doing this, I mean, this is just a regular card, but it was that first big card, so kind of.
Definitely.
Now, this next one was called a Battle of the Brutes. The spoilers was Saul Weingroff versus the interns with Dr. Ken Ramey. This was two heel teams, which was, really odd back then.
Yeah.
The spoilers were Joey Cora and Lorenzo Parente. Joey Cora, 15 years, worked Gulas a lot. He worked as El Olympico and had a decent run in 79, 80 up in New York. Like as a mid-card guy, yeah.
Okay.
Very cool. And
sounds like a gimmick they would be using today, kind of. El Grande America, the El Olympico.
Yeah, exactly. El Olympico. Lorenzo Parente, if you're from around Nashville, you remember Lorenzo.
I know the name. Yeah.
Yeah, worked for Gulas a lot. He's one of those few of the guys that left Gulas and went with Fez. When Fez took over. And I think most people, even if you're a wrestling fan in Nashville, if you're an old original Nashville person, not a new transplant, you remember Lorenzo Parente for owning Lorenzo's Italian restaurant on the corner of Nozzle Road in Thompson Lane.
Okay.
It was there forever.
Did you ever eat there?
No, here's the thing. I didn't know. Growing up as a kid, my family did not like wrestling.
Okay. Yeah.
My mom and stepdad didn't. My dad didn't. It just so my wrestling. It was on my own. So I never got to go to the matches. They didn't want, and all that crap. Anyway, so I never knew that. And I passed Lorenzo's several times growing up. Didn't know that was what it is. And then after I got into business and driving, and I heard nobody talk about it because nobody ever talked about going to Lorenzo's. It was still there, but none of the boys talked about it. So
they talked about going to Silverado's and Rivergate too much.
No, I tell you what, the most of us talked about going to Deja Vu.
Oh yes, duh. What am I thinking?
Yeah. And
erase what I said.
Yeah. Well, that was the later.
Yeah, the later years. Yeah, Rado's Rivergate. I remember.
Yeah. So that was Yeah, Lorenzo. And they said it was really, and that was sad because they said it was really good food.
Oh,
So
man, I bet it
I missed
was.
the double out. I missed that on the double on that one.
I bet it was. Yeah.
Yeah, the interns was Jim Starr and Billy Garrett. They worked as the medics in Florida. Jim Starr worked Central States a lot. He worked probably 20 years. So here we go. So we're going to go to May 11th, 1985. We're going to Uniondale, New York, the Nassau Coliseum. This is the first Saturday night's main event.
Oh, boom.
And yeah, so this started something really big right here. The attendance was 8,300. There was 9 matches, 5 dark matches. And I was looking at the dark matches, man. There's 5 of them. That was kind of odd, but I figured it out since there was only 4 matches on the TV show. They had to have an undercard. So, but this undercard, Salvatore Belomo, Johnny Rods, Les Thornton, and Rick McGraw, Big John Studd, Tony Gurria, Jose Luis Rivera, Charlie Fulton, Moondog Spot, and Steve Lombardi. They were all single matches. I was shocked. It's like, where's the regular crew? You know,
That's what I was going to ask. Where's the regular crew?
I mean, it's like, no offense, these guys, they're all good. You know, now the Les Thornton Rick McGraw match probably was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you have Stud to let him beat Tony Gurria, Jose Luis Rivera, and Charlie Fulton in a handicap match? You know,
there you go.
Yeah, you know, then Moondog Spot against Steve Lombardi. That's 2 heels. I don't know, it's just filler. It didn't. It's like they were just relying that people they got to go see the main event and main event taping and didn't care about the rest. But I if I paid that kind of money, I would have been mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is pretty much with the order I could find. The first match was a 6-man. Barry Windham, Mike Rotundo, and Ricky Steamboat with Captain Lou beat Nikolai Volkov, the Iron Sheik, and George Steele they were with Blassie. This is where they started to turn George Steele.
I was just saying, yeah.
Yeah, this was the slow turn on his being a baby face. Then it was Junkyard Dog with his mama beat Pete Doherty. And if you don't know Pete Doherty, he is the poor man's Terry Funk when he sells.
Oh, God.
He was great, man. Pete Doherty, his facial expressions and like I said, he's not nowhere on Funk's level of selling, of that just crazy getting tangled up in it. But Doherty, he was good at it, especially for New York, where there was nobody else up there doing it. So
yeah,
the Duke of Dorchester, Pete Doherty. So
I was going to say
out.
that. Yeah, the Duke of Dorchester. Yeah.
Then you figure this is 85. Hulkamania is kicking in, going strong. He's not the main event. He's in the 3rd match. Hulk Hogan with Mr. T beat Bob Orton and Roddy Piper by DQ.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you think that was about the time that it would broadcast though? Because didn't these Saturday night main events, weren't they like when Saturday Night Live was on a break or like in the summer break? So maybe they thought that match, if you did it too late, would be not viewed by as many eyes. Maybe
that makes sense. Kids wise.
That's just a guess. I'm just
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because back in the day when they had the curfew, the world title, heavyweight title for New York never was the main event. They always put it because there was a curfew.
Yeah.
In New York at Madison Square Garden, so they would never put it at the end in case it went wrong.
Okay.
Because they had to finish that was the New York State Athletic Commission were sticklers, man, about stuff. And that curfew, they said it was one of the gimmicks that they were strict about. So they always put the main event, where the heavyweight title match was never in the main event. So you're right, Jared. Think about it. Yeah. Because
it just makes sense to me.
Yeah. even though it was a Saturday and a weekend, but kids, that was Hogan's main thing was the kids. And, that's what, so that makes perfect sense why they won the main event. I didn't even think about that. Way to go, Jared. Good call, brother.
Hey, I'm good for something.
All right. So the main event was Wendy Richter beat the Fabulous Moolah.
Oh.
Yeah. And during this show they had a Piper's Pit, and it was with Orndorff, and that's when this is right after WrestleManias. So they were Orndorff lost, in the match, and they turned on Orndorff, beat him up. At the end, they had a Mother's Day party where everybody brought their mothers. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about the JYD match.
Yeah.
I said he had his mom with him. They did his dance at the end in the ring.
Oh yeah.
Even the mom got
pretty sure I've seen that.
even Mama got up there and did the JYD dance. So they had the Mother's Day party. All the mothers were there. Moolah didn't get invited, so she crashed the party. And they tried to throw Moolah in the cake, and Moolah and Mean Gene went to the cake.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love it.
But yeah, so the ratings on that were just, go look it up, man. The ratings for the main events were just out of this world. The second one drew better numbers than this one. So it was a brilliant idea for them to do these Saturday Night main events. And it was like gangbusters.
Oh yeah, definitely. We loved them too. I mean, I just remember.
Oh, everybody did. Yeah,
but of course you did. I mean, what I meant by that is like, we, as in the whole show, we loved them definitely. Yeah.
And you think about it, you wasn't getting. I mean, you had Hogan against Orton, and you wasn't getting that on free TV.
No.
You weren't getting. You weren't even getting job matches from Hogan, but about maybe once a month on WWF TV. You know?
You would get a promo, and you would be fired up for the promo. Yeah.
And then, so that was you were getting. You weren't getting job matches.
Yeah.
And so that you were getting free stuff that you don't get to see on TV.
Yeah.
So that and everything. It just was a blend of great idea. Is what it was.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
All right, so this next one probably bore people, but I love it. We're going to go to May 24th, 1955. We're going to Salem, Oregon, to the Ferry Street Garden Armory. Luther Lindsay beat Roger Mackey in 2 out of 3 falls to become the first Pacific Northwest heavyweight champion. If you don't know who Luther Lindsay was, he was a African-American guy. He worked for 20 years. He was 5 times Pacific Northwest champion. He even worked for Gulas in the Gulf Coast, which I did not know. He wasn't as muscular and jacked as Sailor Art Thomas, but he was really good shape, big muscle gut guy. And like I said, he stayed up in Pacific Northwest for a long time. I never heard of this Roger Mackey. He was around 10 years. He worked everywhere, and guess what? He was a mighty Yankee in a few places.
Of course he was.
Oh, wait, yeah. So when I say there's 900 people who did the mighty Yankee gimmick, I think it's a shoot.
It is. I think you're right.
Yeah. All right, so this next one, I don't like doing these, but this one affected the wrestling world big time in more ways than one. We're going to go to May 21st, 1999. I think it was Kansas City. I can't remember now. Owen Hart passed away.
Yeah.
And that's one of the most saddest and messed up days there was. And that, the whole situation, do we cancel the show, go on with the show? I don't know what the right answer is,
Yeah. I mean, I wonder even if Vince had it to do over again, what he would do. He'd probably do the same thing,
Yeah, I mean, because you think about it, it gets a lot of people get on him a lot about going to the show, but he had a 5-minute time, 5 minutes to make a decision. What do we do? I mean, no, I wouldn't want to be put in that situation. I mean, you got a guy just fell from the freaking roof and dies in your ring. Basically, it's a pay-per-view. It's not a house show. It's a pay-per-view. Yeah. So you got everybody in the building. All the people bought this. You got 5 minutes to make a decision. I would not want to be Vince McMahon trying to make a decision.
Not at all.
It's one of those. He's going to get it either way. Whatever he does, he's going to hear about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to think these armchair bookers that are trying to decide what they would have done with the show. They've never been faced with a decision like that. And most of us haven't, never will. But like and I'm not defending Vince. But the things you got to think about. He's going to take heat because somebody died if he goes on with the show. Somebody lost their life.
Yeah.
And if he cancels the show and tries to refund people and stuff like that, he's going to get heat because they paid good money to go to that show, and it was the only pay-per-view they've ever been able to go to, and so it's hard. I would never want to be in that situation where you have to make a decision on something like that. Did he make the right one? I'm like you, Q. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want. If he had like a day or two to figure it out, it'd be different. But you'll have 5 minutes to. I mean, and it never. He never. I don't know anybody really been in that predicament to know what to do.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And
hopefully, no one ever has to again.
Yes. Yeah. That's a sad day. Like I said, we ain't gonna talk about whose fault it was that happened, because I mean that's all out there. You make your own conclusion on that, because I mean it's been beating the ground about whose fault and all that crap. So
are you surprised? I mean, and maybe you all know this and I don't, and maybe I'm going to look stupid asking this question, but I've never heard like fans talk about this thing, like what they saw or what they thought, like too much. I'm kind of surprised in 27 years since it happened, pretty much, that you haven't heard more fans like come out and say this is the most horrific thing I've ever seen in my life, or we were all just in tears seeing a man pummel. I mean, I don't know. I'm just surprised.
You're definitely right on this. I haven't either.
I mean, they had the dark side of the ring thing on it, and there was some, but I don't know there were any fans that talked about it. So I'm just surprised. I don't know, and I don't know that it's like something you want to wake up every morning thinking, "Hey, I'm going to go talk about this today. I'm going to go talk about Owen Hart falling to his death." But you just, as much wrestling content as there is out there with podcasts and shoot interviews and any kind of program, I'm just surprised you haven't heard more.
I'm wondering
fan perspective.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just wondering if there was some kind of maybe if somebody did talk about it, they got a what is it,
NDA or something?
No, not that. Where they make you stop talking about it or doing it.
Cease and desist.
Yeah, because it was a lawsuit case.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering maybe if people did interviews like at the time, but
why would
nowadays?
But why would a fan?
I guess because they're witness to it.
They were there. They didn't. Yeah, I guess, but
I don't know.
but it's all settled now. It's been settled for.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know, man. That's a good question, because
I don't either. If anybody knows that, if you're on YouTube or something, comment what we missed or something. What we don't know.
Maybe Men in Black memory wiped them or something.
Yeah. Pull out the old little pin gimmick.
I'm sure if they could, they would want that, for seeing that.
Yeah. That's really got me thinking, man. That is crazy. That there's, especially the internet. Anybody can put anything out on the internet now, and I haven't seen anything.
Right. Yeah. You've got people who witnessed 9/11. You've got all kinds of stuff that people have talked about, but nobody's ever discussed this, which maybe that's for the best, but.
Yeah, actually, it probably is, but still, that baffles me. And I didn't, and you brought that up, and I never thought of that until now. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. It is wild if you think about it. So some of these low hanging fruit podcast hosts that take anybody and will say anything on their shows, I can't believe some of them haven't done that. Yeah.
That's
we've
crazy.
got a fan from row C, aisle 14, whatever, Yeah.
Oh.
I do know, what was that? I do remember something about they were doing the Gangrel's blood gimmick at that time. And at one point, Gangrel's blood had spilled on the side of the ring. And I know that in the modern day version of that pay-per-view, you can see later on, after the Owen Hart thing happens, there's blood on the canvas, but I think that's from the Gangrel deal. And
Yeah.
people have always said that it was from Owen or something, but which is surprising that they wouldn't have just changed the canvas anyway, you know?
Well, the ring broke.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
The ring broke. They said the floor broke.
Okay. Okay.
Golly.
Man, that's horrible. Man.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to add something else, but I don't think I
Oh,
want
you know,
to.
go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was
go
just
ahead.
going to say, you know, I've heard in things that Owen was like screaming for people to get out of the way on his way down. I mean, like,
Yeah, I heard that too. Because didn't he hit Tim Smith? Or no, Tim White. Tim White. Tim White.
yeah, maybe, I don't know, but golly, can you imagine? Oof.
Yeah, I think they said he clipped Tim White. He clipped him coming down. Yeah. Gosh, that's awful. Yeah, let's go and move. That's getting me. This next thing I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try making a regular thing. I'm gonna have a Dale Man thing on here every month.
I don't think I've ever wrestled a match, but I didn't give it all for the business and for you fans.
I love it.
We love Dale Man. You know, so we're gonna go to May 3rd, 1987. We're going to Lexington, Kentucky, to the Continental Inn. So I'm assuming that's a hotel. So the first match we have Sammy.
Or is that what he called the back of his van? I don't know.
Oh my
God.
Sorry, couldn't help that.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, sorry.
That's awesome. Wow. Oh, let me get that.
Go ahead, Q. I'm sorry.
I'm tickled, man. I can't. Oh, me. Okay. All right. Let's. Oh my God. I wasn't expecting that one. All right. So first match is Sammy Steamboat.
Okay.
I know you didn't like that one. His opponent though was Psycho Bundy.
Psycho Bundy.
We have a Steamboat and a Bundy.
I love it.
Oh, it gets better. Second match is the Boogie Woogie Men.
Oh, okay.
Against Ron Starr and Mike Doggendorf.
Okay.
This is not the Ron Starr that everybody knows. Rugged Ron Starr from who was the NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion.
Right.
This guy was named Fazil Dean, and he worked for the Poffos as Fazil Dean.
I've heard of that name.
His two boys worked for Porter and Gulas. I mean, Gulas, good grief, Porter and Burt. What? And one of them was a baseball scout for the Colorado Rockies.
Huh.
I can't remember. I figured you would have run across them because the one was working for Burt and Porter in, I want to say 2010-ish, 2011-ish.
Man, I would have then. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the guy's name. I'll remember it later on. But anyway, so Mike Doggendorf worked for the Poffos. He was a big UK football star.
Okay.
And so the Poffos scooped him up and used him for a little bit.
Okay.
So then the main event was a 6-man tag. George Weingroff, Chuck Connors, and Dale Mann versus Ron Sexton, Mr. America, and the Wolfman.
Oh, the Wolfman.
Everybody, we all know George Weingroff, hopefully. If not, go listen to his episode, episodes or whatever, how many it was, I can't remember. Chuck Connors was off and on partner for tag partner with Dale Mann forever. Yeah. I'm talking ever. Yeah. See the heels. Ron Sexton. He was worked. He worked for Fuller in Knoxville. He had a little stint in Memphis where he was a tag partner with Billy Travis. Yeah, he just worked a lot of territories. Mr. America, I have no idea. The Wolfman was a skinny guy, real skinny guy who I always saw him manage for Dale. Okay. Dale's promotion. I never actually seen him work. He's a skinny dude, kind of like a backwoods kind of looking feller.
Okay.
Then at the bottom it says plus ladies match and other top stars. So ladies matches, I'm sure was whoever Dale was banging in the van. And the other top stars, I'm sure there was some names on there that that had somebody's last name that was over in the business at the time. He might have had a Piper or a Hogan or who knows what those other stars were.
Man.
Gotta love Dale Man. Gotta love it.
If you can't own it, take it.
Yep. I mean, and we talked about this before, how it seemed like he had a person with the last name of every big star, it seemed like, almost. Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Michaels is one of them. So,
yeah. Trying to think who else.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're out there anyway.
Well, I mean, did Ronnie Travis take Travis during that time?
Well, yeah, because he was Ronnie Leach,
Yeah. So
he was Ronnie Leach when he on the Fuller USA tapings, and then the match you found with him against Dundee, he was Ronnie Leach. So yeah, he was it was Rock and Roll Dream Team, Ronnie Travis and Jamie Dundee. So
he didn't have to change Jamie's name; he was already Dundee.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's awesome.
all right. So we're gonna go to May 17th, 1963. We're going to New York, Madison Square Garden. Bruno Sammartino beats Buddy Rogers for the WWF title in, I think it was 48, 49, 50 seconds.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah. And there's stuff through the years. And see, Bruno's shoot interviews, Bruno still tried to kayfabe a lot in his interviews.
Oh.
He wouldn't just come out straight shoot on his interviews. I mean, he would, but he wouldn't. So I've watched a couple of Bruno interviews through the years to try to figure this one out. And he would just come out and say, hey, look, they won this. Rogers had heat with the Office. They won the title off from him. Boom. Because he talks about it almost kind of sounds like in his shoot interviews that he pinned him in whatever seconds.
Uh-huh.
As a shoot. I don't.
Bruno might could have held him down. I mean, that's
what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bruno. I mean, yeah, he would. I mean, yeah, he could. Nobody was outpowering Bruno back then. Probably Sailor Art Thomas, maybe, but Bruno's
interviews are only interesting for the story. There's no like extra good stuff in his interviews. Like really, he's no Jamie Dundee on the extra stuff.
Nobody is. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But what I did find out, this is what Bruno said. So I took part of it as why they wanted the title off from him, and like I said, but Bruno didn't say it. But this is what I gathered from it. Rogers' Rage while they broke off. Remember, we talked about this a few months back.
Yeah,
where the NWA and they want to take the title off Rogers and the promoters in the Northeast, but they didn't want to because that was basically their reason as a headline guy. So basically, they made the title up, put it on Rogers. Well, from what I've read, that Rogers when they would do house shows, if the crowds wasn't big, he'd make up excuses for not working. Was back then, they got paid on the houses, I'm sure, because he was a company champion, so it wasn't like NWA champion where you get every promoter's different. So it was there. So I'm sure he didn't get so much, he got so much of the house, but it wasn't like a 10%. You know what I'm saying? It was, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Y'all help me out here.
Yeah.
You're saying if they didn't have enough people, he didn't want to work it because it wasn't worth it to him,
Yeah, exactly. And then they said the one that basically broke the camel's back was, I want to say it was Pittsburgh. And back then they had the athletic commissions, and they would actually check your vitals and so your heart rate, blood pressure, and all that. And he said, I'm not feeling good, maybe chest pains or something. So they didn't let him work. And I think it was like the next night somewhere, they told him he couldn't work because of, him saying something was wrong with him. So it was a big old thing and everything. So basically that's what I heard, that's the reason why he got heat with the Office and would take it off from him. Now, Rogers went on and said he was having health problems, all this and that. And I don't know, they made up, I don't know, down the road. So who knows what all, because nobody's really come out 100% saying what it was, why they did it so fast. So who knows? You just go look it up, and if you want to, try to figure it out, because I really couldn't figure out the truth. So it's one of those, people. Bruno's still halfway kayfabe till he died. So
Yeah. God bless him.
yeah. So next we're gonna go. This was really interesting. I stumbled across this. May 4th, 1990, Edina, Minnesota. Sheik Adnan Al-KC was sentenced to 3 years probation and $5,000 fine and 100 hours of community service for not paying $106,000 in back taxes.
Dang.
This was from 1982 to 1984. What they got him for was he filed false tax returns and claimed $100,000 in air travel as a business expense. Well, they found out that Vern and his company, Minnesota boxing, wrestling thing, whatever it's called, that actually reimbursed him for the travel.
Wow.
And he took it, and he still claimed it on his thing. And it took them, like I said, this was 90, and they said it was from 82 to 84. So it took a while for all this to happen.
Oh, man. Wow.
Yeah. And 90 was the dying days of Vern, like the intensive care, the life support in 90. So Adnan was not making a lot of money.
Yeah.
And hopefully he saved some of that money. He on his taxes, saved some of it because that, good gosh, 6 years later,
That'd be rough, man.
Yeah, because I don't know how that worked out for him. Maybe Vince paid it off for him,
Very likely. I mean, Vince would do stuff like that for
because the next year he was there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, he was there with that whole slaughter gimmick.
Slaughter stuff, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Vince might have paid it off for him. So,
might have been part of the deal.
Yeah, I bet it was. So yeah, I stumbled across that. And I was like, wow, so that was pretty cool. So we're gonna go to May 14th, 1993. We're going to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. ECW, Eastern Championship Wrestling, ran their first show at the ECW Arena. The attendance was 300.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you got to think about it, man.
I know. It just blows my mind because usually you see that place. Every video I feel like I ever see, that place is packed to the brim.
Exactly. Couldn't wedge any more people in that building.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm sure they weren't meeting fire code.
Yeah. So, I'm thinking about, I think it was last month we talked about them running their first TV taping at Radnor College or where it was. So they were running bars and small community colleges and stuff. So going from a bar to arena with 300 people, that was actually kind of good for them. And like I said, this is 93. By 96, you couldn't get another person in the building. Yeah. So that was interesting. The truth is, I thought they were there earlier than 90. I thought they were right after they started up, with their TV. I thought it was right then. But yeah, it was about a year later they started up there in 93. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Pretty
like
cool.
I said, I'm an ECW mark, so I had to throw that in there.
Hey, that's good stuff, man.
All right, so this next thing this was another part of history that really changed wrestling. May 27th, 1996. I can't remember what town this was in, but Scott Hall jumps the rail at Nitro and cuts the famous war promo.
You want war?
Yeah.
Got war.
You got war. Exactly. That was, that pretty much boomed WCW,
It's crazy to think back about that, but I've often, thought, like, did I miss Razor at this point? When did I, first realize that Razor was, and how quick was it between like the curtain call and that appearance? I can't remember.
The truth, I don't know.
Was the curtain call at the like end of December, January?
Maybe. Yeah.
Because they did those big like Madison Square Garden shows usually like after Christmas or so, didn't they? Usually, I think so. It would. I'm guessing. I can look it up, but you got to think. I was trying to think how long it was between that and that. So
it usually seemed like they had at least a 3-month no show, or was it no?
No, it was May. It was May of '96.
Yeah. So You know, I think normal. It seemed like 3 months, so they could have been a little longer since he was a top. You know, but yeah, that changed everything. But yeah, and the rest is history. We want to say, you know.
Yeah, they had signed on with WCW in April, and I guess they had to work out their contract.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think about it. I know Vince knew it was going to happen, but I don't think he realized they're going to bring him in that night like that. You know, I mean, you think Vince was like, "What the crap?" You know, because I'm sure they were like, "Okay, it's, you know, he's going to come out." They were probably saying, "Well, I don't know what gimmick he's going to come down the ramp as," you know.
Yeah, and business was a little bit bad at this time, right? I mean, like it had been bad. Maybe it was picking back up, but it was bad. The business was kind of bad at this point.
Yeah, because Raw was not live every week, so they couldn't do. They were cutting back. Hogan bumped up WCW a little bit because remember they were in the early '90s. WCW was hemorrhaging. I mean, they were on. It was bad. They brought in Hogan. It bumped them up a little bit, but it still wasn't. They were doing better than Vince was doing, but they wasn't breaking the bank. They wasn't. Doing a little better when Hogan come in, but not like gangbusters of Hulkamania.
Nowhere close to it. Yeah,
I mean it helped them, but this right here is what put them over. This is what got them going. Made them the big dog right here. This was the start of it. So that's why I want to put it on there because that really would change the wrestling business because both promotions were treading water, and so then that just kicked it. That was the first start of them turning business around. So, all right. So now we're going to go to May 9th, 1977. Going to Memphis, Tennessee, Mid-South Coliseum. Nick Gulas ran his last Memphis show at the Coliseum, and it's Memphis show, period. The main event was Jackie Fargo against the Russian Stomper. You know what the attendance was?
No idea.
Just guess, random guess. What do you think?
Mid-South, 77.
Yeah.
Ooh, 8,000.
484.
Oh my gosh.
I would have been way too high if I would guess.
Holy cow.
I knew it was bad, but when I saw that, I was like, holy moly. And that big building holds 10,000?
Wow.
Everybody got their own section times 5.
Own bathroom, sounds like.
Yeah,
exactly. Because they had lost their TV, and I guess after 484, Nick said, "I'm out of here. This ain't worth it."
Man.
If you have Jackie Fargo on the card in 77 and you're going to draw 484, it's time to wrap it up. And Nick wrapped it up. So
he said, "I understand now." Yeah.
Yeah, I'm beat. Me and George is going back to Nashville. Yeah. Jackie, because Jackie Tojo stayed with Nick out of loyalty. Jackie was like, he worked, he'd worked the Memphis end, Nashville end, going back and forth. But, he was the top guy, and for him to walk in the Mid-South Coliseum, being the main event, 484 people, he was like, what did I guess I hitched my boat to the wrong trailer. Out of loyalty, yeah. So
I mean, that's happened to all of us, right? So
we've all we've always been like, man, I'm with the wrong person. I've had to me several times in the wrestling business. I'm like, man, I shouldn't have did this. But anyway,
that's a whole other show for another show.
Exactly. So, all right, so we're going to stay in Memphis. So this is I'm going to stay in Memphis these next couple things here because it all kind of ties in.
Okay.
Now, we'll go back to May 1st, 1977. Jerry Jarrett got in. Remember, we told last month how he had that one-off show at the Coliseum, that big super show that he got in. He got in there, did that show, but then he went back to the Cook Convention Center. May 1st was his last show at the Cook Convention Center, and it drew 7,098 people.
Okay.
I think the Mid-South Coliseum show, he did that off show a couple weeks before, actually did better. So I think so. But the main event in this was Lawler against Bob Armstrong for the Southern title.
Oh man.
All right, so Gulas left in the ninth. Was Gulas' last show. Now Jerry Jarrett goes. I said that was the last time at the Cook Convention. May 11th, Jarrett goes to the Coliseum. Has his first weekly show at the Coliseum and ran there basically every week for 20 years after that.
Wow.
Well, except I remember in the summer of, what was it, 91-ish, 92, the summer they spent a few months at the Pipkin building.
The Pipkin. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because they talked about how bad it was because there was no air in it and it was summertime.
Oh, God.
Yeah, because they had the lady who took over the Coliseum, and her and Jarrett Lawler, they couldn't come to agreement. So they went across, because that was all on the big fairgrounds complex down in Memphis where the Liberty Bowl is, and Liberty Land, wherever that music park was.
Yeah.
The Pipkin building was on the same grounds, but it was an old building, no air, and it was summertime, and they died, they said.
I bet. That sounds like the sawmill.
Yeah, oh gosh. So this, like I said, this is his first show that ran, weekly show that just, the first one of the 20 years. Okay, now the week, 2 weeks before his last show at the Cook Convention Center, I said there's 7,980 with Lawler and Armstrong in the main event. This one at the Coliseum only drew 4,887 with Lawler and Robert Fuller in the main event.
Man.
Wow.
He went to the bigger building and lost 3,000 fans.
Where'd they go?
Yeah, that's what kind of made me think, like, I remember Jerry was like, whoa, is this a good idea? Had to be.
Yeah.
Because he had that off show where they drew 8 something, and then he goes back. He goes back to Cook, drawing good heck houses. First one, it drops three over 3,000 at the Coliseum.
Man.
Yeah, I don't know. Did Gulas put such bad taste in people's mouth? Nobody wanted to go to the Coliseum, even though it was Jarrett there,
Yeah, can you put under new management or something?
Yeah, there you go. Under new management.
Yeah. I mean, but now you fast forward to today, and I know this is off the theme of the show, but definitely on topic of the conversation, where Sid's kid is apparently going to do a miracle and turn the Mid-South Coliseum into a working area again. I wish the best, man, but that's a big job to handle, I bet. So
where's he getting all these millions of dollars to do it? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, because I've heard it would take like 20 some million to get it back going right. That's what I think the city quoted somebody. So,
well, I mean, have you seen the roof inside?
It's all messed up. Yeah, I'm sure
it's all messed up. I mean, they still use it for storage, kind of like what they do up in Louisville with the Louisville Gardens.
Yeah,
but it's I don't see how they're letting people even in it safety wise right now.
Yeah, wish you the best, brother. If you want to come on the show, Gunner, and talk about it, you're more than welcome. We'd love to have you on, and you can explain to us how you're going to make that work. Because
I'd definitely be interested in that.
Yeah. I mean, wish you the best, brother. Hope you do it, because I know it's going to be a big job. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So this one I've never heard before. I found this one. I never heard this before. I don't know. See if y'all have. May 5th, 1990. St. Paul, Minnesota, the Civic Center. AWA runs AWA Twin Wars 90.
Okay. Has it got like the Batten twins in it? No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. And I try to give you the card. I'm going to give you the attendance. Okay. There were 6 matches. Tully was on the show, and his manager was Bert Prentice.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There was a NWA World Title match and an AWA World Title match.
Okay.
And Nikita Koloff worked Larry Zbyszko on this show.
Oh wow! Oh, I bet that was interesting.
Yeah, he got the truth.
What a combination there.
So
was Larry doing the karate gimmick at this point? I don't think so, was he?
I don't think he was. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, the main event was Ric Flair against Brian Pillman. He beat Brian Pillman.
Okay.
So Vern, like I said, AWA's on life support.
Yeah.
They can't keep talent. They can't keep fans. St. Paul was their biggest town.
Yeah.
And they brought Flair in to bump this show up. Guess what the attendance was?
Oh man, I don't even want to guess. Is it as bad as Nick's show?
Considering that, yeah, I mean, it not as number wise, but overall wise, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, let's say 1,500.
You're close, 2,000.
Wow. So if this were The Price is Right, I might have won, but
because that was their biggest town. St. Paul was always their biggest town, and they regularly drew 18 to 20,000 in that building.
Wow.
So that was when bringing in the NWA champion still didn't help them. So.
No, you got to consider that a failure. Unfortunately, that stinks.
Yeah. Okay, so this one I've always heard about, and I actually had the newspaper things in my file, so I went back to this. May 31st, 1970, we're going to Madison, Tennessee, to the Madison High School. Nick Gulas runs a benefit show for Houston Reagan. Houston Reagan was a Madison High School wrestler that broke his neck in a match back in January and was partially paralyzed.
Oh.
Lynn Rossi seemed like he was the guy that led this, was over it, because it seemed like Lynn Rossi was the main dude who got this going. I think they said that his son Joey graduated from Madison High School around that time.
Okay.
So he was close to the school, and like I said, so he was like, everything I saw, Lynn Rossi was the main guy over it. And I got to find the picture of this. I've had it, seen it through the years. The month before, they did roadblocks all through Davidson County.
Mm.
You know what I'm talking about, where they sent on the roadside of the buckets. Yeah. And there's a picture out there somewhere, I gotta find it, of Lynn Rossi and Tojo standing out with the Folger coffee cans on the side, at intersection, collecting money for this. There's a picture out there.
Man.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find the picture. They said it raised that roadblock raised $19,000.
Wow.
In 1970. I'm thinking that's a work.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, I know it was all over Davidson County, but what was Nashville's population in 1970? 500,000, maybe?
Something like that. I think that sounds about right. Yeah.
Maybe, and that's countywide. That's like going all the way up like to Jolton, all the way down to the edge of Brentwood,
Yeah.
I mean, so I just can't see $19,000.
Yeah, that's
And you know what I think it stood out to me? Nick Gulas doing a benefit show.
Yeah. For anyone else's benefit.
Exactly. So that's what makes me think Lynn Rossi was over this.
Yeah. Okay.
It ain't what you make, it's what you save, boy.
Yeah.
So, I got a cough. Hold on. All right. So, and this was a big do, man. Big to do. The articles I found, it said people appearing. Don Hauser from WKDA Radio. He must have been a big DJ in Nashville at the time. Also appearing is country music singer and songwriter Merle Kilgore.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He was famous for co-writing Ring of Fire and Wolverton Mountain.
Yep. And I know his son, Stephen Merle. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because I used to work at the Great Escape in Nashville, and he would come in there all the time. So he tells great stories, man. Oh my goodness, he has some great stories about his dad's stuff.
Yeah, because he was he was a singer too, but his claim to fame was songwriting. They said he had many country hits.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, Ring of Fire. I mean, good grief, Johnny Cash. That's
Yeah.
You get any bigger than that?
That's about all you need to write, probably.
Yeah, I mean, also, yeah, Buddy Lee from Buddy Lee Enterprises. Everybody knows Buddy Lee was the, we talked about it, about Buddy Lee was him and Danny Davis. And Fez started up the UWA. Buddy Lee was big time music agent in Nashville.
Which we discussed that a lot with Dr. Squash.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Buddy Lee was in on it. Check this out. Special referee, Hank Williams Jr.
Holy crap.
Golly.
Holy crap.
So I was like, okay, is this a Dale Mann thing,
Yeah.
I looked into it. So Hank Williams, Merle Kilgore played in Hank Williams Sr.'s band.
Right.
And he became Hank Williams Jr.'s manager.
I think 80s. You're exactly right. Yep.
So he was tight. Them two were tight.
Yeah.
So I guess that's how he got. So they got him on too.
Yeah.
So that's big time.
That's awesome. Yeah.
70 he wasn't biggest star he is now or in the 80s, but he was fast rising in the 70. Around 70 he was, and he had the name.
Definitely. Yeah.
So
that's cool, man. That's
crazy. He was still a big star. He hadn't got there yet, but for the time he was getting there, he was still to be at a wrestling match.
Yeah, definitely. That is cool.
It had 6 matches. Jackie Fargo and Dennis Hall against the interns with Dr. Ken Ramey, Lynn Rossi and Johnny Walker, which is Mr. Wrestling number 2.
Mr. Wrestling 2, yeah.
They worked Al Green and Pretty Boy Martinez, which we talked about those two earlier.
Yeah.
In the first Gulas show at the Louisville. Then Cora Combs against Sarah Lee, which Sarah Lee we talked about earlier just a while ago about that's Corsica Joe's wife, and Cora Combs was Debbie Combs' mom. She was a mainstay in the Mid-South.
Legend in the business for sure.
Yeah, big time. So I just thought that was. Oh, and also on the article said Nick Gulas says all proceeds will go to the
Nick Gulas Fund.
Yeah, exactly, to the Reagan Fund. Which I don't.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I've known that through the years, and I was like, because a lot of people don't know that, especially I bet there ain't more than 10 people know that Nick Gulas ran a benefit show.
Probably not. Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to stay in Nashville. We're going to go to May 7th, 1989. Going to the Miserable Auditorium. That's what everybody thought. That was the thing in the 90s. That's what everybody called it because it was old. Because the Miserable Auditorium. We're going to Wrestle War 89, Music City Showdown.
Boom. Yes.
Yep. This was a big time, for what happened. I didn't get to go because I was still in high school and I didn't have the money to go. I could barely scrape up my $6 to go to the fairgrounds every week.
Yeah.
I would never want to go to municipal and definitely couldn't pay for pay-per-view. I don't even know if intermediate cable in Nashville even carried it. I don't know. But anyway, so the whole thing with the main event was the 3 judges, Lou Thesz, Pat O'Connor, Terry Funk.
Yeah.
First match was supposed to have been JYD against Muda. And I think JYD got fired right before this.
Okay.
And the last minute, they put in Doug Gilbert.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so JYD was gone. He came back a year later. They brought him back. Florence Steamboat wasn't the main event. I'm wondering if there was no curfew thing, wasn't late night. I'm thinking Florence Steamboat goes so long, they want to put in the main event because back then, I'm sure the time for pay-per-view was strict and you didn't want to go over.
Right. Yeah.
And, Florence Steamboat go all night. So I think that's why they didn't put it in the main event.
That makes sense.
And Terry Funk, at that time, Terry Funk had pretty much been out of full-time wrestling for 3 years?
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, he did some stuff here and there in Puerto Rico and But full time, he was done. So I think that was the shock because he jumped Flair because nobody thought he was wrestling anymore because he's doing the movie gimmick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that shocked everybody, and that that was the rebirth of his career right there. You know what the main event was? Eddie Gilbert, Rick Steiner versus the Varsity Club, Kevin Sullivan and Dan Spivey.
I mean, a great match, I have no doubt. But
yeah.
You can tell that they were trying to make sure the Flair and Steamboat match made it on the thing.
Yeah, because you think you had the whole. I should look at the time. I'm sure they went 40 minutes at least.
Yeah,
guaranteed. Yeah,
and then you had the whole afterbirth with Flair and Funk. So
I know it's so good. That's my favorite Steamboat Flair match too, by the way. And by the way, a friend of the show, Wolfie D, was in the attendance that night. So
was he?
Yeah.
Wow.
We talked about it on the podcast. You can go back and check it out. I think we actually watched that match on a watch along, and he told that story. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, definitely go back and watch that, people. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Also, something that stuck out for me was the entrance for Ricky Steamboat. Richie Steamboat came out on a horse.
Yeah. Pretty.
And it made me think about that was, if you ever see parades with horses?
Yeah.
You don't want to be the band behind the horses. You don't want to be in the band.
No.
I'm wondering, did they have one of those little collector gimmicks hooked to the horse?
You would hope.
Because whoever come out after that match had to step all in it.
Doug Dillinger or somebody.
I mean, or they had somebody out there cleaning it up because it had to have happened. It's like anytime a horse is going, doing something besides horse stuff, they poop.
Right.
And it's nasty.
Right.
Yeah. So I always wonder about that. Did they have of them little collector things to him, or did somebody come back behind him?
Scooper. A horse scooper.
Oh, man.
Would you done that for free tickets to the show?
Shoot, yeah, I would have.
Yeah, I was going to say you better would have, or I would have.
I definitely would. They would have said, "Hey, can you clean up the horse poop? Begin the show for free."
Yeah,
I don't care. Put me on the last row up in the Miserable Auditorium. I've sat up there before and watched stuff. I took a ticket for that. To do that. Shoot, yeah.
I'd say it even isn't a bad seat in that place. Honestly, is there?
No, the way it's set up, it's not too big.
Yeah,
it's just right. Yeah. Not a bad place to watch anything there. I remember, I've watched wrestling there. I've watched back in the early 80s, we had a minor league hockey team called the Nashville South Stars.
Oh.
Went to a game there one time. And then every year, me and my dad and my stepmom, we would go to the Southern Outdoorsman show every year there. It was like mandatory. I had to go with my dad. It's pretty cool. Some stuff was pretty cool. Then some of it was pretty boring. But anyway, I'm getting way off the topic as usual. All right, we got to get out of Nashville. We'll be right back with more Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
Are you a pro wrestling fan? Well, stop by Captain's Corner, where you can get autographed photos, cards, magazines, and figures from all of your favorite wrestling superstars of the past, present, and future. You'll also be able to participate in live signings in the weeks and months to come. Make sure to stop by Captain's Corner on Facebook and give us a holler. Remember, cheers to the working man.
Well, wrestling fans, it's been quite a program, and it will be quite a night on Friday night here in Knoxville, Tennessee for the Volunteer Slam. And don't forget, tickets for this big night of wrestling are on sale at the Knoxville Civic Coliseum and at all Ticketmaster locations. Your special ring announcers will be Will Height and Wall from WIBK's Great Day program. And for the first 1,000 kids, Knox to Fox will give you a free picture. All kids under 12 admitted for only 43 cents. Quite a big match here.
Will Height and Wally's Hot Shots from WIVK Radio. It sounds like a roofing company or something. Will Height and Wall, but I tell tell you something, it is going to be quite a night. This Friday night in the Knoxville Civic Coliseum, the first round matches we've examined today are only the beginning. You're going to see 2 semifinal matches, then the finals, plus my heavenly bodies defending the Smoky Mountain Tag Team title against the Party Patrol, Johnny and Davey Rich, and we're going to thump them just like yesterday's garbage. It's going to be 9 matches altogether, wrestling the way it used to be and wrestling the way I like it this Friday night in the Knoxville Civic Coliseum. So if you're in Knoxville, you can't afford to miss it. If you're up there in West Virginia, if you're in Eastern Kentucky, over in North Carolina, wherever around the Smoky Mountain wrestling area, get a plane, get a train, get a bus, a car, a boat, ride a horse, get a mule, I don't care. Hook up a sheep to a wagon, but somewhere or another, be in the Knoxville Civic Coliseum this Friday night. You can't afford to miss it.
All right. So now we're going to go to May 8th, 1942. We're going to Santa Monica, California, to the Ocean Park Arena. This match is for the California State Light Heavyweight title. Gorgeous George beat Red Berry, and Gorgeous George was the last champ. He was the last California State Light Heavyweight champ at the time. I'm sure they brought it back later on, but that run, he was the last one, 42. Okay. Wow. Everybody knows who Gorgeous George was. Hopefully you do. If you're listening to this.
Wasn't it that lady that came out with Macho Man?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, technically.
Yeah. Red Roberts, Wild Red Roberts. I didn't realize that he worked. He was in the wrestling business for 33 years.
Whoa.
Yeah, and what I remember him as, he was the manager for the world famous Kangaroos.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if you can find some of the, what I remember seeing him, first time I ever saw him was on some footage from the old Washington D.C. TV. Because I think we talked about this before, how in the 50s and 60s that was one of the main wrestling TVs in the country. Was the Washington D.C. TV.
Yeah.
And that's the first place I saw him. The first place I saw him was he was the manager for the world famous Kangaroos. Oh. And he wrestled for a long time too. Wild Red Berry. So,
okay. All right.
Like I said, that was probably for my enjoyment.
It's your show, brother.
All right. Speaking of my show, I try to downplay my stuff that I did in the wrestling business. But you know what? Everybody else puts themselves over. So you know what? I'm going to put myself over.
Boom. There you go.
We're going to go to May 11th, 1996. We're going to Petersburg, Tennessee, the Petersburg Community Center. This is for the NWF, National Wrestling Federation. This was a promotion that I worked for. Actually, it was my first night there. That's why I kind of did this one. It was in Middle Tennessee. This promotion would run Petersburg, Lewisburg, and Columbia, alternate Saturdays.
Okay.
So it was kind of like, not a loop, but, that was their 3 towns they worked once a week, I mean, not once a week, but, every Saturday we were in one of these, in this, working for this promotion. You got what I'm saying?
Yep, makes sense.
Yeah. Usually back then, everybody had their own town. They just worked one town. They ran like Shelbyville was, the Mullins. Columbia for years was Freddie Morton. So this was kind of different that they had 3 set towns and different consecutive weeks. So it was something new. I'm sure it's doing other places, but around this area, this time period, Middle Tennessee, it was odd that you would, have that many, more than one town. Saying one regular town, promotion wise.
Okay.
So the first match was Ashley Hudson and Rick Posey against Otto Von Bronner and Quinton Quarisma.
Hey.
Hey. And, so Ashley Hudson, we have talked about him before. He was legit from Australia.
Yeah.
He came over in 1993. He trained at the Slammers training school out in California. Then after that, he came to Nashville and was a mainstay in the Middle Tennessee area for years. Probably the biggest thing was him and Corey Williams were the New South.
Yeah.
And they did a lot. They're I don't say 99-ish, 2000, did a lot of the WCW TV tapings.
Yes.
Yeah. They were on the B shows, I guess you would call them.
Yeah.
There's Rick Posey guy. And this is legit shoot. I want to say he played for Murray State, but he went on and did in a legit shoot. He played for the I guess it was L.A. Raiders or Oakland Raiders, one of those. And talking about a big old boy, oh my gosh, this dude was a hoss.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And not his work, but his body was stiff as a board. Yeah. Nice guy. Oh my gosh, super nice guy. And he worked, I want to say maybe 3-4 years around. He's passed away now, but yeah, he worked around for a little bit. Big old guy. Otto von Bronner was a guy named John Flynn. He worked Middle Tennessee area for about 3-4 years. Is Otto von Bronner and Big John. And what's crazy, I went to school with him.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but he wasn't in our little group of like me and Mark Gordy, wrestling fan group. You know what I'm saying? We were all buddies because we're wrestling. But he wasn't in that. So it was kind of odd that he got into wrestling later on.
Okay.
He was a big old dude. He was about 6'3", about 350, 375, and could move. Not like drop kick, that kind of stuff, but like fast move for a big guy. He was quick. So,
okay.
All right, we'll go to the second match. Shane and Steve Morton.
Oh, there you go.
Big friends of the show.
Man, seriously.
And they took on the Bruise Brothers, Chris Kern, and oh man, loved him, Hot Rod Biggs. God bless you, brother.
Oh, rest in peace.
Man, rest in peace. Forever the intro to the show, man. Forever.
Yeah. Man, I loved Hot Rod. He was,
yeah.
And, man, when we're talking about a guy that was born too late, boy, he would have made money in the territories.
Definitely. I still think he could have managed for Vince. I do. I think he could have been a manager up in anywhere he wanted to, honestly.
That boy could talk.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
I mean,
there's another one of the interviews who did that.
Yeah. I mean, you try to interview Hot Rod, but it ain't happening. He's just taking over, man. I love it. Yeah.
His work was there. He was one of those naturals. From the day one that he started, he was good. But man, give him a mic and let him roll.
Yeah, definitely. And we've had everyone in that match on the show. So there you go.
Sure have. Yeah. Actually, the whole card's full of the show.
I'm just saying for sure in that match we've had all four.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh well, I was gonna say this third match you did, but I just saw the name. We have a holdout on this one. Got Wild Boy Steve Neely.
Yeah.
And Boogie Woogie Boy Gary Valiant versus Dante and Damien.
Man. Okay, so Boogie, come on, brother.
Yeah. We're gonna finish it out, man.
Where you at?
So Ben Jordan, this was the time I want to say he was out for that over a year when he got hit by that semi truck.
Yeah. Kind of changed stuff for him on the big time too a little bit. I know it stopped his underneath work too. So for a minute.
And you know, it's like to come back from getting ran over by an 18-wheeler, you come back and still can work great. Still a great worker. It was amazing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I said, we got Dante, we've had on the show, Damien, Dante, Tommy Higgy. Damien was our good friend, Pastor Rick Reynolds.
Hey, there you go.
Go check out Rick's gimmick. I always forget the name of it.
Gideon's Warriors.
There you go. Go check out Gideon's Warriors. Go back and listen to Steve Neely's episode, Tommy Higgins' episode. Great match. Now, this last one, I do not remember this, and it seemed like I would have. The fourth match, main event, a human cage match. I don't have a clue what a human cage match was. I was there that night. It seemed like I would remember it because I've never heard of it and never seen it before until then. So I don't know how to explain it. Just use your imagination.
Yeah.
All right, so we got the Moondog Rex, which was
yeah, Moondog Rex. Are you talking about
the original?
Oh, what's his name? Randy Colley?
No, yeah, Randy Colley. This ain't Randy Colley.
Okay.
This guy was Nathan, but he got the name Moondog Rex. Was it 82? He came into Memphis and took over Bill Smithson's spot. And he said that actually Larry Latham's spot gave him the Rex name.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, because they like I said, Smithson, I don't know what happened to Smithson. He was in and out there to that big run they had through 92 through 94. Smith was in and out, and Rex came in there. He was, I want to say he's from Athens, Alabama, worked down there, the world famous Alvin Wallace's.
All Night Wrestling.
And I'm thinking about, was he one of Alvin's boys?
Maybe.
I think it might have been one of Alvin's kids, I think. But Nathan was a big dude, really big guy. Light as a feather, man. I worked him a bunch. Nice, super nice guy. His partner was the Shadow Hunter. Have no clue who the Shadow Hunter was.
Dang.
No clue. They took on Cool Breeze and the Nazi Terror.
Okay.
Now, Cool Breeze was Tommy Higgins' first Mephisto partner was Cool Breeze. We talked. Tommy talked about that a little bit.
Right, unless you count Mike Porter, right? But yeah.
Well, yeah.
The official.
The one that, the really mainstay that had the long run that went to Memphis TV with,
Yeah, definitely.
That was Cool Breeze. The Nazi Terror, 1996, kind of played out. But it was Tim Barney Brown.
Yeah.
He was the Nazi Terror.
Yeah. Okay.
That's only 4 matches. That was the only thing that was on the thing I found, the flyers. I don't know if there was another match or not, because 4. Usually we always had 5 matches.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about another match. So that was it. That was a lot of people from past episodes on this card.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why it's one of the reasons why I put it on here, because and this place, that was my first night there, and it went maybe a month, 2 months later, Tommy Higgy put me with Chris Kernhart Biggs of the Bruce Brothers.
Yeah, as the manager.
Did the manager, did 6-man, yeah. And that was that little 6-month run I had with those guys was some of the funnest times I had in the wrestling business.
Dude, I guarantee it. I bet you did.
Man, it was just because we were working. Like I said, I was manager. We're doing 6-man with Shane and Steve Morton, and that's right toward the end when Ben came back. Ben and Steve, Ben and Gary, Steve, Ben, and Gary. It was such a great time. That 6 months had a blast.
What a crew!
I wasn't wrestling all the time, but I was managing, and just Rod would only been like maybe a year, and man, he was killing it, dude. Like I said, he was a natural. It was so much fun, and anytime you can be in the locker room with Tommy Higgy and Rick Reynolds,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what can you say?
Boogie trying to shoot on you for a second every once in a while, and you remember when he would do that, he would try to get you to move. He was like, "Come here, Jimmy."
He never did it to me.
Okay,
no.
Yeah. He was like, "Let me show you something, Jimmy." I'm like, "No, Boogie,
might have just been you."
He probably was. He was breaking me in. He was like, "Here you go, kid. Here's a whole bunch of." It probably was just me. That's funny.
Did Wolfie ever tell you about the thing at Stadium Inn?
Oh yes, we talked. Somebody asked a question about that very early on. Yeah,
that was. I was there that night. That was with. I wasn't working. I was just down there with. I was with Jablonski.
Yeah.
I went down. He was working. I went down there with him, and that was crazy, dude. I was like, "What the crap?" But yeah. Anyway,
I've heard both sides of that story. So anyway, yeah.
So, it's one of those. It's It's definitely one of those 3 sides.
Right.
Your mind and the truth,
Right. Exactly.
All right. So let's move on here. We're going to go to May 26, 1987. We're going to go to around Asbury Park, New Jersey. Out on that was that New Jersey Parkway. I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
The Iron Sheik and Jim Duggan get pulled over and get arrested together.
Give me hell yeah!
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Bubba.
Man.
What a legendary story, man.
Yeah, this is it's out there. Yeah, Duggan got busted for drinking a beer, and and having some little bit of weed on him. He just got a summons. Sheik got hammered.
Yeah.
He had 3 kilos of cocaine on him.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
But he bonded. They took him in. Like I said, Duggan got a summons to appear. Sheiky baby got locked up, but he bailed himself out on $5,000 bond, and they still made it to the show in time to work that night.
Of course they did.
And they kayfabed it.
Oh yeah.
87. There's no internet.
Right.
You'll
never know.
Yeah, I mean, it was on the New Jersey Parkway. I mean, good grief. How many times, you see people getting pulled over there, wrecks, so there's no big deal.
Yeah.
Nothing out of the ordinary to see. Well, so they went and had the match. Kayfabed it, didn't say nothing at the show. Duggan said he went and I can't remember if he said he called and told his wife or not. I can't remember. But he said he didn't think nothing about it. Woke up next day and it was all over the papers everywhere. It got out, and it even made was the New York Times, not New York Times, New York Post, I think, maybe one of the big 3 newspapers up in New York. It made it. It was in their paper up there. So he said the first person he called was his dad, because his dad was a police chief up in where he's from in New York, Glen Falls, wherever that is up there. He's actually the police chief.
Oh,
that was the first person he called. Called his dad.
Of course.
His dad chewed his butt out, and then
I bet
he said his dad had his back after that. I think there's out there some shoot interviews where it says something like his dad says, "I told you that marijuana was going to get you in trouble." Sounds like what my dad would say.
Yeah.
He said he talked to his wife. He said then he called Vince.
Yeah.
He said he never had got put through on the phone through Vince faster than that. He said I never got to Vince that fast through the phone lines. So they had, I guess, Vince come in that morning. If that pal calls, put him straight through. You know,
immediately.
So, So he said, like I said, you can go find these on the interviews on YouTube. He said he called Vince's first thing he said to us, "Jim, what have you done to us?" And I didn't know nothing about this until I saw it. It was in the wrestling magazines.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were always behind.
Right.
You get your information late, but that means you didn't have internet, so you didn't know.
Man.
It was late getting out in the magazines, but it was still, me around Nashville. That's the first time I ever heard it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wasn't really smart, and I was like, what were they doing together?
Yeah, no kidding.
Because they worked each other that night.
Of course.
And Duggan says he tells the story of why him and the Sheik were riding together.
Mm-hmm.
He said Sheik come up to him and said, "Hey, can I get a ride?" He said, "I had no credit card." Because he said they flew into wherever it was. Then then they would drive to the show, hour to the show.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know wherever the biggest city was around there. The crew flew in, got the rental cars, went to the show like an hour away. He said she came up to him and said, "Hey, I don't have a credit card. I can't rent a car. Can I ride with you?" Duggan said, "Sure." And they said they were going down the road, and she says, "I'm thirsty. Just go over to stop and get some beer." They said the Sheik loved Polygirl beer.
Okay.
I don't have no clue what that is.
Yeah, it's St. Pauli Girl. It's okay. I know The Office. There's a big deal about the neon sign, and it's the show The Office. But yeah, other than that,
they said he loved it. So, so they were drinking the beer, and then they was chugging the beer, driving, and they passed a state trooper.
Man,
yeah. And he said to this day he never has drunk a St. Pauli Girl beer, whatever it is called again.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
So they both got fired. He said that that Vince told him to turn in your flight tickets. You're done. Sheik, I don't know about the Sheik, but he was fired. I don't know what they told him. As I said, he just got a summons. Sheik got, was some. That's big time, ain't it?
Yeah.
3 kilos.
Yeah, that's big time. That's they would consider that. What do they consider that? Trafficking or something?
Yeah, because they said it was in he had it in 3 separate little baggies.
Golly.
So yeah, that makes it even worse. And so just having one big blotch of it in the bag,
Right.
That just they get him for attempted resale.
Yeah, or attempt to distribute or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
there you go. Yeah. So I don't know if he served any time or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know Duggan didn't. They're both fired. Now they brought Duggan back shortly after that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
He tells the story of where he actually called WCW, called Dusty, and was talking to Dusty, and word got out to it that he was talking to Dusty, and I don't know if it was Pritchard or somebody said he called and told him just lay low for a little bit.
Yeah.
And so he laid low, and then they brought him back.
Yeah. Do you think that killed his major? I mean, I don't know that he would have ever been a world title holder for Vince. I don't think they had. I mean, maybe, but
No.
I don't think they had him figured in like that. But that kind of killed any hopes of anything really big.
Well,
for him.
he was getting massive momentum.
Right.
He would have been a world title guy. He might have even got a really, really short run with the Intercontinental belt, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe like an in-between guy or something.
Sure.
Definitely a tag champion, but that killed any kind of momentum, he was getting.
Yeah.
So,
and he's just such a big old happy fella that, come on.
Yeah.
But
likable guy,
I know. I've heard you don't want to make him mad, who would want to make a
gigantic, he was a big dude, man.
Yeah. I mean, did you ever see that fight him and Bourne almost got in that match where he's like, you want to work? Or we going to shoot?
No.
It's like an indie show in a gym somewhere, and Hacksaw and him are just beating the crap out of each other.
Wow. Dang.
Anyway, look that up sometime.
Yeah, I'll definitely. So now we're going to go to May 28, 1979. We're going to go back to Memphis, Tennessee, to the Mid-South Coliseum. And the only reason why I put this on here, because I love these gimmicks. It's a big Memorial Day card van tournament.
Okay.
They're giving away a van.
Nice.
And you know who was the booker for Memphis at this time?
What year was it again?
What's that?
What year was it again?
1979.
Okay, that's probably not going to help me.
The van tournament should tell you who it was.
Is it a Fuller?
Yes, Robert Fuller.
I love it.
They love those gimmicks.
They did.
So there was it only drew 4,706 people.
Okay.
Because Memorial Day, that's the first day of summer. People are at the lake, out, saying, not a good day for wrestling.
Yeah.
And they also said when Fuller had the book that the territory went down.
Man.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Memphis was up and down. You'd see for a while they were drawing 4, 5, 6. Then you'd see them draw 8, 9. But they had something really hot going, So, but anyway, 13 matches. 2 of them were non-tournament matches. I'm not going to go through them. I'm just going to go to the thing. 2 couple things stuck out was Tony Charles was in this tournament.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Mr. Fuji.
Oh.
And actually, Tony Charles beat Mr. Fuji. So that stuck out. Something else that really stuck out was 2 guys. Guess who they got beat in the first round and got put out?
2 guys. Oh, man.
Bill Dundee and Jerry Lawler got beat.
Whoa.
And were both eliminated in the first round.
Holy crap.
I guess that's why they were only drawing 4,000 people.
Yeah. They lost the plot, man.
Dick Slater beat Dundee. Now, the second one, it's good. I could see it, but it shouldn't be in the first round. The Mongolian Stomper beat Lawler.
Yeah.
Dick Slater was new to Memphis.
Yeah.
I don't even think he was there long.
Right.
The Stomper been in and out of Memphis, So I can see him beating Lawler, but not first round, and Dundee first round. Thunderbolt Patterson, Toro Tanaka was in it.
What a crew, man.
Basically, he brought some of the Knoxville guys with him when he came to book, and they said that Memphis people didn't care for it. So I don't know. So the final match was Ron Fuller beat the Mongolian Stomper, so the booker puts himself over. And I was thinking, the van, was this one of the rolling whorehouses? Bill and Tommy's vans?
Bev was like, auction that off, Robert. Get rid of that thing.
I'm just wondering if this was one of their vans.
Well, or what if it was Dale Mann's van? Never mind. It's a joke.
Oh, no. Definitely don't want Dale Mann's van. Ooh. You couldn't give that thing away.
Oh, man. That would be funny.
Well, that mattress in the back of that was worse than a $2 hotel. Oof. Hourly rates. Mattress was better than that mattress was.
We should have asked if anyone ever else got to borrow it, but I'd say they didn't want to. So
no. That van was burnt when it got put to pasture. They took it out of pasture and they burnt that thing.
Yes, they did.
Jeez. All right. So now we're going to go to May 2nd, 1987. We're going to Daly City, California. Not San Francisco, but Daly City. Going to the Cow Palace. AWA held AWA Superclass 2. And Superclass 2 drew just a barely little bit better than Superclass 3.
Ooh.
It drew 2,800.
Wow.
Yep.
Not a good time.
Yeah, I was going to go over the card, but yeah. 7 matches. Had AWA Ladies World Title match. AWA World Title match. And it wasn't the main event.
Yeah.
The main event was Jimmy Snuka and Russ Francis beat the Mercenary and the Terrorist. I'm thinking Vern was hoping Russ Francis, former San Francisco 49er, would draw his house. It didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hadn't been retired too much. That was right on he retired, so he was fresh on the minds of football fans, but not wrestling fans. So,
yeah.
The Mercenary and the Terrorist. The Terrorist was Brian Knobs. Guess who the Mercenary was?
Oh, man. Was it Jerry Saggs?
Ron Fuller.
Oh, really?
Yes. I don't know. I've heard the story before, but I can't remember it, why he was there. As this is 87, he sold Continental to what? David Woods, end of 87, early 88.
Okay.
I don't know why he was out in California in May of 87. I don't know. It was just odd. This, and then the AW World Title match. Kurt Hennig beat Nick Bockwinkel. This was a cluster. They did the finish. It's been, I'm sure you've seen it. It's also, somebody's got the card on YouTube, and it's perfect quality. Hennig, this is the one where Zbyszko comes over and hands the roll of quarters or where it was to Hennig, and then Hennig hits Bockwinkel with it, covers it for the belt. Hennig gets it back to Zbyszko. Ray Stevens runs in and grabs it out of Zbyszko's pocket. The quarters were go flying all over the ring. They've already gave the belt to Hennig. Stanley Blackburn comes in. They do a big thing. And this was so bad. The afterbirth was probably 10 minutes with Hennig and Bockwinkel, Stevens, Zbyszko, all of them in the freaking ring. Horrible. And at the end, Blackburn says, "I'm holding the title up for the committee to review it."
Oh, okay.
What little bit of crowd was there died.
I bet so. Oh my gosh.
You're going to do that finish. You don't have 10 minutes of afterbirth, 2 minutes total, or no afterbirth. Let Hennig go to the back with the belt. Have Blackburn come back out, intermission, say, "Hey, we're holding up the title to review it. Well, they ended up on their next TV hitting. I think hitting. They said he kept the belt because he was the champion. So, I'm assuming that's what they did on their next TV. But why in the world would you go that long with? I mean, it's out there. Go watch it. It is so boring. Good, great match, and they just dog stomped it afterwards. Horrible. Just horrible. I mean, we've seen that finish tons. But it's done. Go watch NWA Dusty's stuff. I mean, it's quick and to the point.
Right.
Not him. I mean, oh no, I have no idea who booked that, man. That was just awful.
Maybe that's our next show. Who booked this crap? I think they've already done that. But anyway.
All right, so we'll go to going back to Memphis, May 9th, 1988. Going to Mid-South Coliseum. Memphis celebrates Jerry Lawler Day. Jerry Lawler has one last shot at the AWA World Title. 8,000 attendance. So this was their last big house at the Coliseum.
Okay.
The year before, they had the big one with the cage match with Alan Lawler, 87. That was the biggest. Now, this is their last big one a year later.
Okay.
Everybody knows Jerry Lawler beats Kurt Hennig for the belt. The special referee was Jackie Fargo. And they used this from their own forever in the Memphis opening TV. And it's out there. Go watch it. Jackie Fargo actually could have messed up the finish. It could have really messed it up. Because he dives over to do the count and comes down one. But when he hits the mat with his hand, he don't count it as the one. Everybody else watches it because it's one. Because he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's like. So he didn't count that dive over hand hitting as the count, but everybody watching it. I thought it was. And I'm just thinking, what if Hennig would have thought that was the 3, that first one was a 3 of the 3 and kicked out on 3, his 3, but Fargo's 2.
Huh.
Yeah, watch it and you see what I'm talking about.
I will.
It's hard to explain, but go watch it and watch that could have got messed up so bad.
Yeah. I will check that out. Man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that could have been disaster. Yeah. Talking about Fargo turning heel fast in Memphis. Woo!
Yeah, no doubt.
There would have been a riot. There would have been a riot at Fargo. They would have turned on Fargo so bad.
Yeah.
Because I do believe this was Lawler retires or wins the belt thing. I think that's what the stipulation was.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a big thing because they gave him the key to the city and Jerry Lawler. It was all, big hubbub. So yeah, go check that out. The Fargo almost messing it up. So now we're going to go to May 24, 1973, Kansas City, Kansas. Moore Hall. Harley Race beat Dory Funk Jr. for the NWA Heavyweight title. This was Funk's first. It was a 2 out of 3 fall. Harley won the first fall and the third. This is Harley's first reign. He's only had it, 3 months? Right. So it was like a in between Funk and Briscoe because they said they didn't want one of them. I think it was one of the guys or both the guys didn't want to work each other and drop have to because Funk. I think Funk was still babyface at that time. They didn't want them to have to work each other and drop and lose the title and something like that. It's out there. Okay. But yeah, so Harley was a transitional champion between Funk and Briscoe. All right.
Thinking of Harley as a transitional.
Well, but he wasn't like a
right.
He had it for, and but it established him. Right. I think he was like, "Hey, we're going to do this, and if everything works well, we got more to come for it." You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right, so we'll go to May 30th, 1986, Houston, Texas, Sam Houston Coliseum. UWF crowns their first heavyweight champion.
Oh.
Terry Gordy beat Jim Duggan in the finals. There was one other match on this card because it was a tournament. I ain't going to go through all those matches time-wise. But one other match, they had a UWF tag team title match, a barbed wire cage match. Well, that would have been interesting. See, it was the Fantastic beat the Sheep Herders.
Wow.
So that was a bloodbath.
No doubt. That's they're still bleeding because of that.
Yeah. All right, so this next one is it's a favorite. I just found it a couple of days ago, and it's a favorite. We're going to go to May 5th, 1985, Pensacola, Florida, the Pensacola Civic Center. I want to say this is Southeastern because it was right around this time they changed to Continental. I think it was still Southeastern. Southeastern ran a double Bronco tournament.
Double Bronco.
Yes. The winning team will win 2 1985 Ford Bronco 2s.
Man. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, it gets better. I don't know who won it because Cage Match or Data, neither of them had this card. I found it scrolling through newspaper ads. I stumbled across it. Riches are in it. Nightmares, Armstrongs. They had Bob and Steve as a team, and then they had Scott and Brad. I don't think Brad was there. I think Brad was still at Watts at this time.
Okay.
I don't think Brad Armstrong was there. Jimmy Golden, Humongous was a team. Humongous, friend of the show.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Another friend of the show, Austin Idol.
Armstrong!
And Pork Chop Cash was a team.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yeah. And this last one is another friend of the show, Bill Ash and Chick Donovan.
Chicky Donovan. Oh, yeah. Great bootmaker, Bill Ash, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yep.
Bill Ash's family made the Paris, Arkansas boots. Yep.
Yeah.
For years and years. So I found that. I was like, oh, this is cool. And guess what I found the next night?
What?
May 6, 1985, Birmingham, Alabama, the Batwell Auditorium. Southeastern ran a double Bronco 2 tournament. 2 1985 Ford Bronco 2s will be given to the winning team.
Well, you want to bet they're the same Broncos.
Yeah. If I'm a betting man, I'm laying it all on that. And it was the same teams as it was in the Pensacola tournament.
Okay.
Yeah. We've talked about how the Fullers love these gimmicks.
Yes.
I tried to see if they did it in Mobile. I couldn't find anything, so I don't know if they did it in Mobile or not.
But let's just say the Fullers prize vehicles for sure. They hold vehicles as a very high prize. I love it.
Yeah. Vehicles and a boat.
Remember, but don't forget the boat. Yep.
Yeah, because that's the boat Ronnie Garvin lived on.
Right.
he actually took the prize.
Yeah, he did a Fred Ward's check on him with that.
Yeah. I think it was Ron Fuller's boat to begin with. They actually didn't do it was actually he already had the boat, and it wasn't a promotional thing where they had to give it back. So I think it was actually his boat to begin with. It was actually his real own boat,
Okay.
And let Garvin live on it because he was his top guy, man. So
gotcha.
Top guys can do what they want. So yeah, I love those things, man. They were the kings of it. All right, this one was really good. This is going to be May. It's a two-part. This is going to be May of 1988 in Knoxville, Tennessee. Ron Fuller's USA Wrestling. In May, their heavyweight title was McGowan Stomper. He was working an angle with the Bullet, Bob Armstrong. So they did some matches. Then on May 14th, they did a loser leave town versus mask match. If Stomper loses, he leaves. If Bullet loses, mask's got to come off. So a couple weeks later, I guess their TV wasn't. I guess it might have been every week shot, but like the stuff from the house shows, like the Coliseum shows, they would show it not the next week. They showed it a couple weeks later because I went back and watched this TV to try to figure it out. Because I noticed on the next week's TV, it would have been the 21st. Bullet's still there with the mask. Stomper's still there as the champion. So I'm like, what in the crap happened? So I had to fast forward. So a couple weeks later, they finally showed what happened. And Ron Wright is the Stomper's manager. And oh my goodness, go watch this stuff. Ron Wright was off. Oh my gosh. The price of admission alone to see Ron Wright.
Oh,
you talking about put the quarter in and hit the button?
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen his stick, right? Tons of times. I went back the other night and tried to figure this out. He had me laughing And I've been seen it like 5-6 times, the same spiel.
Yeah.
And he still had me laughing at it. Amazing. Oh my gosh.
I just loved how he would do this, like, come over here, he'd talk like an old kindly preacher, and you gotta be from that area of East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia to know that accent like that, because it's so good. Come over here and sit in that chair. Oh man, I love his accent.
And he would start faking like his heart was hurting, and he'd take nitroglycerin pills. Man, I'm telling you that he was.
Yeah.
And Fuller would, and they had that whole thing with with them trying to put Fuller out of business, and he was one of the main guys. But Fuller brought him back.
Yeah.
Brought him back, and he was on one he welcomed back.
I love it.
And because he knew that Ron Wright was money, and he knew that. Oh my God, go watch this stuff. Oh man, Ron Wright was something else, man. Seriously. I don't know we talk about it, but till you see him get wound up and going, oh my goodness.
Yep.
It's a sight. It's a sight. So I found out, so they showed a couple weeks later the footage from the Coliseum. So they're having the match, boom, boom, boom. Ron Wright's out there. He's handcuffed to Scar Armstrong.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Scar Armstrong, I don't know if it was legit, but he had a broken ankle and he was on crutches. But anyway, so they were handcuffed together. Who was it? The dog. Moondog Spot was there. He was called the dog. He comes out. The big schmoz going on. Dundee comes out. Unhandcuffs Ron Wright. They do a whole thing. They beat up the Bullet. The ref's down all this time. So they cover him. The ref gets up. 1, 2, 3. Bullet loses. Now he's got beat to crap. So he's selling it. And they're trying. You got to take the mask off. So he goes, takes the mask off, pulls it off, throws it at Ron Wright and them. Guess what?
What?
He pulled a Mill Massacre. He had a mask on underneath it. So that's how they got that. That's how I was the next week when you saw the graphics. Like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
How did he's still here? He's still got a mask. So that's how they did that. And boy, Ron Wright every week was throwing a fit. It's him throwing fits about the Bullet.
Yeah, I love it.
Not taking his, it was so funny. Oh, it's so good. And so then they brought it back to May 28th. Stomper versus the Bullet.
Okay.
This is the Bullet. It's win or leave Knoxville.
Okay.
And there was and from what I know, I didn't get a chance to go back and see, because like I said, they don't show, I don't know what happened. The Bullet was still there, so I guess, and I still think the Stomper, I don't know what happened. I guess I need to look it up, but I didn't have time. But they were still there, so I guess Bullet didn't leave. Because he didn't come back as Bob Armstrong up there. And then they had the deal where they unmasked him, and remember we talked about with Jamie carrying the mask around his neck on the necklace?
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Yep, I do. Yep.
So they took it off again sometime. Bill did. So
okay.
But yeah, it's all on that Knoxville stuff. Armstrong Alley's got it. Go check it out. Man, it was like Continental and Memphis mixed.
Uh-huh.
Because Dundee's booking. Like I said, it was only around for 7 months maybe. Dude, awesome stuff. It's so good. And Ron Wright, just to listen to him talk is worth it.
Oh yeah, I bet. No doubt. I mean yeah.
It was so great. But the whole gimmick with and then that thing was, I remember Armstrong did the interviews like, I did what I said. I took the mask off,
Yeah.
And the whole thing was, I knew there was going to be interference and stuff, so I've come prepared, Y'all didn't outsmart me. That's how they got,
Yeah.
Got the next thing, it's so we're going to go to Texas, Irving, Texas Stadium. We're going to go, it's the May 6, 1984, the first annual David Von Erich Parade of Champions.
Okay.
Did you know that this was not the first Parade of Champions for world class?
No, I did not.
They had some in the 70s and I think we'll say one in the late 60s.
Okay.
Yeah, I did not know that. I forgot to write the dates down because I was in such a hurry trying to. That first one, it was the biggie, drew 24,000, 121. They said it was over 100 degrees. They said it was hot as could be. a couple things that stood out was actually that's wrong attendance. It was 32,123.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. It had 8 matches. A couple things that stood out was it was Chris Adams and Sunshine beat Jimmy Garvin and Precious. Garvin Adams, that was a really cooking feud with the two girls. Really, that whole feud was really good. Because Adams, I mean, I'm sure he was inebriated a lot to that time period, but his work from 82 to 80, actually to 85 with Gino was really good. Adams was really, really good at this point. He was working on all cylinders. We talked about Jimmy Garvin before, how underrated. Everybody looks at just the gimmick when he was actually a really, really good technical worker. The 6-man world tag. The thing that stood out about me was the Von Erichs, Fritz, Kevin, and Mike beat the Freebirds. But what stood out was, if you remember, Kevin cut his hand at the beginning of the match.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking, did he pull a carry before Carey pulled a carry?
That's a good question.
If you go back and watch, his hand was bleeding.
Huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Those guys.
Yeah. Then, of course, the main event was Carey beat Flair for the title. We all know about that. I mean, they, what did Carey have in a month, maybe?
18 days, I think.
Lost it to Flair over in Japan. They put it back in the same month. I was going to, but we already know about it. So now the second Parade Champions David Memorial drew 26,153. Now that's a drop, but that's still a lot of people.
Yeah.
85 class is still rolling. It's down a little bit, but still they're still doing record business. The Freebirds Von Erichs is starting to fade out. But what I remember about this, that 9 matches, the Fantastics and the Midnight Express match as two ring, but Fantastics had Big John, and of course, Express had Cornette. And Cornette talked about it, how Big John killed the match, messed it up so bad.
Oh, man.
Cornette does it on one of his episodes. He talks about, I saw it years ago. He talked about Big John like, you can imagine the rant he went on about Big John.
I can imagine, definitely.
Yeah, and if you don't know who Big John was, he's Big John. I think in AW Solo Sam maybe or something like that. He was like 7'7", had no athletic ability in his body.
Yeah.
He worked here in the Memphis area for a little while, but could not work. Flair and Kevin went to a double count out. And there's the other thing, you'll like this one, Jimmy. This is what stuck out. Another one stuck out on this card was a Kerry Von Erich versus One Man Gang. Hair versus hair. Kerry's hair against Gary's hair. And Gary and Gang lost, so Gary got his head shaved, and they kept it bald from there on.
Yeah, that was the turning point right there.
Yeah. So we're going to 86. The 86 won the 3rd annual. Now, 86, they were struggling, but they still drew 24,121 for this one.
Yeah.
So their house shows, Sportroom was down a little bit, but the house, I think Reunion Arena was down. Business was starting to come down. I mean, they were at that high for so long, but still good business, but not for them. They had 10 matches. Sunshine beat Missy in a mud pit match. So I would have loved to have seen that. Brody beat Terry Gordy in a barbed wire match. That's crazy. Then Brody came back, so he must not have, I'm not saying he might have got enough color. I'm sure he bled like a hog. But he came back and worked Rick Rude for the WCCW World title, which they did in a DQ. And then they had a 6-man. Now, this is what kind of shocked me. It was in the 6-man, Von Erichs versus the Birds. It was Kerry, Lance, not Kevin, not Mike, because I think Mike passed by then. I don't know.
Yeah.
Steve Simpson.
Oh. Huh.
And what's crazy, earlier in the card, Steve Simpson worked. I can't remember who he worked, but he lost.
Huh.
Okay, and I looked on this card. I said it was 10 matches. I looked all through it. No Kevin.
Huh.
Where's Kevin?
Where's Kevin?
Did Kevin throw a hissy fit and tell me he wasn't going out and they had to throw Steve Simpson in there?
Maybe.
Because why wouldn't you have? And I look, he wasn't hurt because he worked 2 days after a show in Texas.
Okay.
And before that, and worked like a couple days before that worked. So he wasn't hurt.
Huh. Man.
You know, and like I said, we have talked about I was told by a reliable source how they wasn't all brotherly love.
Yeah.
You know, didn't get what they thought. You know. So I'm just wondering, because that just, why would, if you had Steve Simpson in there to begin with, why would you let him do the job earlier in the card on a second or third match?
Yeah.
You know, so and no Kevin being on this show, what makes no sense.
Yeah, that's
cool. I don't know. I mean, I've never seen this one, so I don't know if maybe they did something earlier and had Kevin get beat up, and then they threw, you know what I'm saying, Steve Simpson. I don't know. Maybe I guess I should have went back and watched it, but I would, you know. Anyway, so go do some homework, people, and see why Kevin wasn't in that main event.
Yeah,
was it because they threw a fit or did they do an angle?
Figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out and tell me. Let me know.
Yeah.
All right, so we go to the fourth one. Yes, there was a fourth one.
Oh,
this was in '87. This was at Texas Stadium. Attendance 5,900.
Oh, man.
They lost almost 20,000 between the third and fourth year.
Oh, wow.
You could have had that. You couldn't have had that at a sportatorium, but it would have looked better at Reunion Arena with a 20,000 seat than Texas Stadium with 80,000.
Yeah.
Jeez. Man, I looked at this card and there was 11 matches, and the only thing that stood out was the 6-man scaffold match with Steve Simpson, fantastic, to beat Eric Embry in the RPMs. That scaffold, oh my goodness. That was the highest scaffold I've ever seen in my life. Have you've seen it, right?
Yeah, I think I have. Is it like
Eric Embry takes the bump off from it?
Yeah, man.
How he didn't die? I mean, that thing was. There's no way. Remember, we said something about Tommy Lane. We talked to this about him.
Right,
remember?
We did. Yes, sir. Yeah.
He talked about how high it was. That man. There's no way. If I walked out there and saw that, I said, Fritz, you can take it and shove it up your butt. I'm out of here.
You're crazy, pal.
But that's the only match that stood out of 11 matches. Okay. Now, I know it's a Von Erich memorial for David and everything. You're honoring David. But after you draw 5,900, wouldn't you be like Gulas and throw in the towel?
Yeah.
They didn't. They came back in 1988, and they kept it at Texas Stadium.
Oh, man. It's going to turn around. It's going to turn around, I promise.
It drew 7,000.
Oh, okay. Well,
they were up 1,100 people.
Yeah.
Which, who knows if that's true or not. Only thing that stuck out was that Triple Dome of Terror. Remember that? The 3 cages? They did it before WCW ever did it. And I think did it come down to Hayes and Michael Hayes and Terry Gordy, because Hayes had turned babyface in '88.
Yeah.
He came back to, and this is when I think they they brought in Iceman as a free bird. That's when King Parsons.
Yeah.
It was on that time period. Buddy and Iceman and Gordy, and it was going against Michael Hayes and Steve Do It To It Cox during that time period.
Yep.
They turned him Hayes and babyface. But yeah, that's the only thing that stuck out. And I don't think they did another one. I think that was the last one they did. Because they should have stopped when they were ahead on the third annual with 24,000.
Yeah, that was the time to quit. Oh man,
that's the time to throw in the towel. Be Gulas and throw it in. Well, let's see. Okay, we talked about AWA drawing good in St. Paul.
Yeah,
at the Civic Center. Okay, May 13th, 1984. They had a big card that night. AWA World Title match. Rick Martel beat Jumbo Saruta for the title.
Okay.
Attendance was 15,000. So St. Paul was drawing.
Yeah.
And this was right at, because, 84, May of 84, Hogan left what? November?
something like
of
that.
83.
Yeah.
Because they were pushing, or it was after Christmas, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was after Christmas. Yep.
Yeah, because they did the whole switcheroo title. They put it on Hogan and took it off.
Yeah.
And then Hogan, as you know, Hogan goes to Vince.
Right.
So Hogan left. It didn't hurt them.
Yeah.
They still drew 15,000 with Jumbo and Martel.
Yeah.
I think it was 84, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then we'll go. This is a cool one. May 12, 1979. We're going to Ashland City, Tennessee. Cheatham County High School. It's a fundraiser for the Cheatham County High School wrestling team. George Weingroff was the promoter.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yes. It was a fundraiser for the Cheatham County High School wrestling team, which George was the coach.
Makes sense.
And this was right after the Poffos left Gulas. And we're starting to do little stuff with the boys who left Fuller, that whole all-star thing. So this was all in that time period. So Poffos were all in the mix of running against people because they ran a few towns around Nashville, and that's the first time you saw the challenge stuff that I ever saw it. Well, they were challenging George Gulas to a match, and all that stuff they did against Jarrett's. When the Poffos were doing that against Lawler and Dundee, they were challenging them and all that. So, but anyway, this had Savage on it, Poffo, Rip Rogers, Pez, basically the crew that was ICW mainstays. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I found this, and I actually got the paperwork from the athletic commission where George had to present for the wrestling license, promoter license, the insurance, and I actually got the paperwork they had to file with the attendance, of the attendance of the card, and the guys who worked it and their license number. I got that machine. I'm gonna post all that.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
All right. I know we're running out of time. I can get this in real fast.
Okay.
I don't remember this. I remember something about it, but I don't remember this whole thing. But this is going to 1996. This is May 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. The WWF hold the Kuwaiti Cup 1996. Kuwait City, Kuwait, at the Al Arabi Stadium. Do you remember any of this stuff?
I hear, yes, I do think because is this got something to do with like the flight over too or something? Anyway,
I don't know. I don't think I remember from this was they showed on one of their TV shows, Davey Boy Smith jumping Shawn Michaels in the beach and trying to drown him. Yeah.
Okay. I remember that now.
That's the only thing I remember. I didn't know it was a tournament. I just thought they were having a show there. I didn't know it was a Kuwaiti Cup. And oh my gosh. Every night had 8 matches except the last night they did 7. Shawn Michaels was the main event every night because he was the champion. First night he beat Davey Boy Smith. Second night he beat Owen Hart. Third night he beat Yokozuna. Fourth night he beat Marty Jannetty, which I think it only went like 4 minutes. All the matches, that was the shortest one. The fifth night was Steve Austin. This was right after the Ringmaster before Stone Cold.
Yeah.
This is before the King of the Ring promo.
Yeah.
The final, and they just had this tournament. They kept going and going. It was crazy. All these nights. The attendance for every night was 20,000, so I guess it was it had to be a box show. The winner of the 1996 Kuwaiti Cup was Ahmed Johnson. Ahmed Johnson beat Triple H in the final match. Okay. Something that stuck out to me was Luke and Butch was on this tour.
Okay.
Well, I didn't know they were with Vince in 96.
I mean, maybe as like, goodwill ambassadors, maybe. But
that's what I'm thinking. They were every night working. So that's what I'm thinking. Maybe threw them a bone or,
yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was, maybe, WWF was so big in the 80s.
Maybe, yeah.
That they brought them in. I don't know. They were on every show.
Yeah.
And something else I didn't think about. I was thinking about after I got this done. Triple H being in all the way to the final. Bret Hart was gone. Undertaker was gone in the first round, I think.
That's wild.
But anyway, but everybody, I mean, they all. So if you were out of the tournament, you worked a different match. They put you with people, but because he was in the doghouse in '96 because of the curtain call.
Right.
Remember? Because they were setting up for him to be the king of the ring. Remember? And they took it away and gave Steve Austin and Lobo Steve Austin, that's the birth. And because he was in the doghouse. If he was in the doghouse, why did they let him go to the finals in the Quaddy Cup? Then I thought, one, he had to work Ahmed Johnson in the main match, final match. And two, he worked every night. I should have looked at the times on his matches.
Yeah.
I bet they it was harder than butt crack there.
Yeah.
I should look at his times because I bet they made him go longer than everybody in every one of his matches.
Yes, they did. You're going long tonight, pal.
Yeah. And I bet I should have looked at because they didn't dawn on me until I wrote it all out and everything. And I was like, what? He was being punished. So why was he always in the finals? I was like, well, one, he had to work Ahmed Johnson in the final match. And he worked every night. It had to be, I bet they went long.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the whole thing, because I figured he'd be going in the first round because he's in the doghouse.
Yep. Yeah.
Because they said he was the one that got punished because the others were gone. You can't punish Sean; he's your champion. So the only one left standing, let's punish him.
Right.
So,
yep.
So, but yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. It was 90 million degrees, and they made him work long matches. I'm assuming. So
you're gonna earn this one, pal.
Yeah.
I enjoy destroying lives.
You want your job, you are going to work for it.
Yeah.
I got a lot more stuff, but we ain't got time because I said maybe this pack, man, was just a lot of NWA title changes. I think we've got all those. I wanted to get all the NWA title changes in May. The Von Erich stuff, the AWA stuff that I found, that what was it, Twin 90s, whatever it was, Twin.
Yeah.
AWA Twin 90s. Twin
90s.
Yeah, still don't fear it. And the bombing Superclass 2 that was so bad they came back for Superclass 3. It seemed like Nick Gulas was the only one that got smart and threw the towel in.
He's like, I'm dipping. Yeah.
Everybody else kept running their big show and losing their butt on it, but Nick was actually the smart one for once. That's crazy.
Yep. Good on you, Nick. And good on you, bro. This has been a great show today, brother. Jam packed, but we've enjoyed it, man. So.
I know I went a little long. That's sorry.
Okay. You can go long sometimes.
Yeah. I never heard that before. But, anyway.
Yeah.
That's another subject. But I just hope people, like I said, some of the stuff I go deep in with, those California 40 stuff and 50 stuff and Portland 50. People's like, I know that ain't for everybody. I like it, and I hope people like that stuff because I know it's not the good, it's the out there stuff that not everybody's a fan of. The ones that do like it, I'm hoping you enjoy me going and digging up stuff that nobody else will because somebody cares.
Oh, that's not true, man. We all care and we love it. And you do a great job. And May gave a great show, so we can't complain, man. So thank you so much, Q. Always appreciate it, brother.
Yeah. I appreciate it. And then if anybody knows what the deal with Kevin Von Erich is, please let us know.
Yeah. Was that an accident? Yeah, he did. I just watched the 2 Von Erich. Hey, we might have Brian Diaz coming up, so we'll ask him. How about that?
Yeah, he was basically a Von Erich.
Yeah, I think we said it's like the Tracy Smothers to the Armstrongs, basically.
Yes, so, exactly. Exactly. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. That's very
cool.
Yeah,
if we can get him on, definitely. He was there, so he'll tell us, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll find out. Well, cool, man. Well, good show, buddy. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you. And this has been
This Month in Wrestling History with Quinton Quarisma.
All right, that was the one and only This Month in Wrestling History with our boy Quinton Quarisma. We'll be right back to wrap things up after these messages on Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
CHW is continuing the legacy of historic professional wrestling in Tennessee with monthly events at the Armory in Ashland City. CHW owner Mike Green has made it his mission to present the best pro wrestling shows in the Nashville area, and he has been delivering the goods. CHW Wrestling combines all the elements that Tennessee wrestling fans have come to expect. Action, suspense, athleticism, reality, stories, surprises, and excitement, all delivered by the finest professional wrestlers this state has to offer. Follow CHW Pro Wrestling on Facebook for the latest news, announcements, and show dates. And subscribe to Championship Productions on YouTube to see past events like the Ashland City Rumble and the Valentine's Massacre. Fun for the whole family with delicious and affordable concessions on site. Witness the action and excitement of CHW in Ashland City at the Armory. Family Wars, Love and Hate, Championship Gold. A CHW event is everything you're looking for in a night of live entertainment.
All right, we are back with more from Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling, and today again, guys, was our awesome episode of This Month in Wrestling History with Quinton Quarisma, episode 11. He had covered May. Once again, Quinton does an incredible job, in-depth details, just some cool stuff. We love hearing about pro wrestling history, and Quinton does that exact thing for us. So thank you, Q, as always. Y'all tune in next month for Q's episode 12, and he'll be covering June. Coming up on the 1-year anniversary of this episode, so that's cool, man. We'll have to figure out a way to celebrate that. So thank you again, Q. Great episode as always, and hope you all enjoyed it out there. To continue on, of course, we're covering our buddy Pastor Rick Reynolds and his ministry, Gideon's Warriors. You know, they're telling wrestling stories from their time in the business, and they're telling their testimonies. If you'd like to book him for your church today, contact Pastor Rick at icw2009@hotmail.com. Also, guys, a couple more things before we go. Keep our buddy Ben Jordan in our continued prayers. Today, actually, he got some great news about his recent chemo. He's dealing with some chemo, but went to the brain doctor today for the MRI in my brain. All the spots that were growing have shrunk. So, amen and hallelujah. That's amazing. Y'all keep praying for our buddy Ben. Make sure you pray for Quinton and his wife, Dana. I know they need some prayers there with her back right now, and they can always use some prayers. You know, everybody needs them. Also, continue to keep my family in your prayers. Greatly appreciate that. Next episode, guys, I ain't going to spill it here, but I promise you it's a banger. I promise you it is a good one. So y'all don't miss next week's episode. Thank you all to the ones who always tune in and all that. But if you want to find out who it is as fast as humanly possible, go to @GMBMPW on Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you guys for liking, sharing, following, subscribing, supporting, looking at, enjoying, letting friends know about it. But the most important part, we just appreciate you all so much for listening. And if you can continue to do that, that's all we can ask. So once again, for This Month in Wrestling History with Quinton Quarisma, the Plastic Sheik, Jared Street, and myself, this has been Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling, and we'll see y'all next time.
Don't forget.
Am I to assume, Mr. Wright, by the appearance of this gentleman, that you have made good your threat of getting a bodyguard?
Let me tell you something. I don't ever pretend that I'm going to do anything. You understand what I'm telling you? I have got tired and fed up with people coming out there and interfering with my matches, jumping on my back, beating me in the head, making my heart act up on me and having all kinds of trouble. I have got me a bodyguard like these people ain't never seen in their life. What to do? And I'll tell you something else. He's a little bit more than a bodyguard, too, Mr. Soley. But I don't want to break that on the people today. I don't think these people could take all of the excitement, just what this man's talents are. I'm going to save that maybe for another week or two to tell you the rest of it.
All right,
and I want to tell these people something. Would you quit interrupting me?
Yeah. Well, we're going to take a look at some videotape right now. Now, you say that you never interfered. Not in any way, shape, form, or manner.
I got to take another pill. Hold on.
Yeah, well, all right.
Out here, my heart, you know, I have to take medicine to keep my heart settled down and stuff like that.
Well, let's see if this does him any good. Maybe he'll calm down a little bit. We'll be able to get...
Yeah, look at that. Look at what that man's doing down there.
Well, obviously, Mr. Wright, you're having a bit of a problem speaking.
I always have problems when I get mad, and I've been madder than mad in the last 2 days down here, Mr. Soley.
With a tear in my eye, this is the greatest moment in my life.
We'll see you next week. And until then, so long for now.
This has been a James Rock Street production.